Everybody. How's everybody doing? Roats,
Morning.
Danksy, how you doing?
Happy Friday, guys. How's everyone doing today?
Doing well. Hello to everybody on Twitter, or on TikTok today, right? TikTok.
TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, we're on
Wait,
everything right now.
whose Twitch are we going through, Roats?
Rhodes and the Bridgeview Labs one.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. If you watch Twitch a lot, definitely go check out those. Follow those guys on Twitch as well. I'll be making one soon. Either way, wherever you're coming from, welcome. My name is Bren. Here with my boys, Danksy, Roats for Loco. And then my boy Yoni, who isn't here right now. We do this show twice a week. We've been doing it for about 6 months now. It's been amazing. We started at a time where not much was going on in crypto, and 6 months later, the president has created a meme coin. NFTs are flourishing again, and it's just been so much fun. And we turned this into a really interactive show where we're talking, taking chart requests and comments and everything, and this is for everybody. So it was super fun to do this. We talk about everything that's going on in Web3 this week, give our takes, show some key highlights and plays that we're looking at right now that could potentially do well in the future. So definitely write some comments, questions, anything in the chat. We'll be watching that. And usually the way we start out is we go over something called the Roats Review, which our boy Roats here, which he kind of exactly like it sounds, goes over everything that happened in this week, the last 3 or 4 days since our last stream. So take it away, Roats.
There's no review better than the Roats review. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean it's been a week, right? Like the last 5 days since inauguration, or even the last week really, has been full of news tidbits, volatility, uncertainty, excitement, and then disappointment. So it's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster. I think overall, if I were to give my impression so far, I'd say it's mid, right? Like we're not disappointing. We're not getting overhyped here. We're just the same as what we were before this week, really. Which is, I mean, maybe a little bit of disappointment for some, but Bitcoin has been ranging. It's been stuck in this channel range here for really a good month here, and it's at this 106K mark. A break above 100, just above 106 here, closing a daily candle above that is really the highlight bullish signal, at least for me. And then in terms of the news and enactments that Trump has done so far, he did sign an order for regulatory framework and reserve evaluation. This isn't creating the crypto reserve that we all wanted to have happen right off of day one. It's providing a timeline for it. And then there's been also a lot of talk about them just using the existing crypto they already have. Not a lot of talk yet. I say yet because it's still possible of them accumulating additional resources, additional reserves of crypto assets. So that's the kind of mid or bearish kind of sentiment that we've gotten so far. On the positive side, David Sachs has labeled meme coins and NFTs as collectibles. David Sachs is the crypto czar. So that kind of gives free reign on everything meme coin and NFT related. Of course, you kind of got to do that when your president has done all that. So it fits in really nicely. They have prohibited CBDCs. Senator Loomis, who is the biggest tease on the timeline, with her big news of her getting a promotion, I guess, which created a crazy pump and dump. But Loomis will be the chair of the Senate Digital Asset Committee, and so she'll work through on that. She's very pro crypto, so lots positive there. And there's still, I mean, kind of from her initial talks and ideas that a crypto reserve and actual accumulation is still on the table. AI market cap at the moment is at 14 billion, down a bit. We had some other news on top of that where the GOAT agent, what agent is that? That's
Truth Terminal.
Basically, yeah, Truth Terminal offloaded their holdings of Fartcoin to focus on.
Oh, it was Andy, right?
Yeah, and so that way they can allow Goat to be make their own financial transactions, etc.
Yeah, I want to hear
So
for Loco's take on this in a little bit when we get to AI.
yeah,
I'm sure he's super
yeah,
deep into it, but yeah, it's super cool too. Like they're like setting it up to where nobody can like kind of control the coins that he holds, and that when the AI is obviously autonomous, we'll be able to like spend it and everything. So it's crazy. We were talking about on the show before. I really liked Goat because of the historic narrative.
hmm
But the fact now that Andy is showing some type of like support or at least talking about the coin goat to itself is just even more bullish. So I really like
yeah,
that. I definitely want to hear for Loco talk about it more when we get to AI. But sorry, go on.
perfect. Yeah, no, that's good. So that's a lot of the news. I'm sure we'll have more elements pop up. It's been busy. There's so much going on. And then Ross also freed, and so we'll wait to get the lowdown of everything Ross when he comes out on podcasts, etc. But that was also positive for the market and just a great sign of faith from Trump. NFTs, ETH volume 34 million. Massive volume on the Azuki sell-off. Azuki with a major sell-off. As always, you want to sell the news event when it comes to anything related to airdrop with NFTs. You could argue Pudgies was almost the exception to that, as it kind of landed mostly flat and is now up. But Azuki and an anime token itself also dumping pretty heavily. So not great on that side of things. But tons of volume in the Ethereum market side of things. Solana as well, really good volume, and Ordinal is kind of down from where we were in the past. Quantum Cats up higher now, up to 25%, rallying up to a third of a Bitcoin. These Ordinals can really accumulate some value. So again, I think some of the outright winners very well could be in the Ordinal side of things. Milady's up, but kind of just a rebound from where they were previously. Mochaverse up 19%, Memeland Potatoes up 11%. You can see this is kind of sparse. Overall, the NFT market is down fairly reasonably across the board with the Azuki, etc. We had some interest in the Yuga assets there for a bit, with them kind of teasing the possibility of an additional coin or additional airdrop. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm sure more is going to come there, and then a good rally into, or a good cycle into Doodles, as that's the next coin that is expected. You've heard my thoughts on that, but I'm bearish towards the Doodle take on them for a coin. And then meme coins, Andy up 27%, and Landwolf as well 29%. So these are kind of brother sister kind of tokens, but a decent rebound there. And then Cult up 46%, the Milady token to 185 million. Pepe up 3.9% to 6.47 billion. Again, the meme coins as well, mostly red on the last 24 hours here. Prediction markets, Bitcoin price achievement 110K is now down 17% from its high at 56% likelihood. And that is the roundup. Excited for what we have to talk about here today. I think there's so much to cover, so much information. I think it's important to stay connected here as we go through this kind of like crazy transformation.
Absolutely. And I do want to, instead of just getting straight onto the majors, kind of talk about a little bit, dive into a little bit of the things that you talked about in here. The first off being, first, I hope you guys can hear this sound. Can you hear this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I just want to watch this digital collectibles thing we were talking about before, because I want to hear your guys' takes a little bit. I know this is probably blurry.
We can't hear the audio on it.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I'll have to set that up. I don't know why it's not playing the audio. But digital collectibles, pretty much in that video I was going to show you, the new crypto czar. David Sachs talks about how he categorizes, or how they're going to categorize NFTs and stuff like meme coins as collectibles, rather than kind of the argument that they could potentially be securities, or unregistered securities at that. Which is obviously something that's overhanging both the NFT industry and anybody creating coins. And Gary Gensler, obviously, and them, they sent Wells notices out, to people in that way. So I think putting NFTs in that basket and potentially meme coins really is going to again unlock a lot of people experimenting with tokens and all this stuff because again they're not going to be scared about the SEC hitting them with the unregistered securities claim or whatever. Well, of course, if you're still doing fraud or still doing something sketch, you're going to get in trouble. Even more so now with the regulations. But the people who are doing things the right way and who are trying to just create tokens and not commit fraud or anything are going to be able to experiment with different stuff. I want to hear your guys' take, kind of being in the NFT world. I know that digital collectibles there's actually higher taxes from what I understand than capital gains. But overall, what are your guys' takes being kind of NFT guys in the past cycle of kind of putting NFTs in that digital collectibles basket?
I'm worried about the crimes we're committing on this stream right now. So that's my concern.
Yeah, but I see the comment popping up on the bottom. Is that a new feature? I love that.
No, it's always been available. We just haven't utilized it. But yeah, we can pin comments and show it up on the screen. So if you have a banger comment, we'll do so.
Right on.
So yeah.
But as far as like the digital collectibles thing, putting NFTs in that basket, like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think overall with what's going on with meme coins and collectible and all, like I mean, it's just opened everything up for just chaos season. And I say chaos in a kind of, I think, a positive way, that any of this kind of stuff that we were worried about doing in the past, we don't have to be worried about. If Yuga wants to go ahead and drop 10 coins because they have all these coin ideas, they can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Is it going to be good for the project? Whatever. But there's less concern and worry about everything going on. And I think it opens that up. And then the kind of the structure and the collectability of where NFTs are. And there's also talk about like crypto and capital gain. Like there's so many things going on in the back end, and that is like super positive that, it's really hard not to be optimistic towards everything in the space and shed the worry of Gary Gensler, completely.
Absolutely. No, yeah, that's a great point. For Loco, what do you think?
Yeah, Duke, I think honestly, can you guys hear me, or is it like?
Yes,
you perfectly
sound great.
crisp, super crisp.
Okay, sweet. So I think positively affecting the space, but when you think about it, I think the reason why Gensler and the SEC were after the NFTs, it's because we pretty much in the NFT space kind of like went after the financialization or the economical kind of like aspect of it. And so that's why he and the SEC were kind of like predatory somehow about, just like regulating them as securities. But if you think about the difference in between NFTs and actual collectibles, it's it's pretty much the same, right? It's just the fact that people were buying for the purpose or the intention to make a profit. But overall, I do agree that this is going to clarify, a lot of positives about what it is to convert your collectibles into digital.
Yeah.
So I don't know, mostly positive aspects. I do still think that some regulation needs to be done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of scammers and grifters that we saw last cycle, which
Absolutely.
was very negative.
Yeah,
So,
kind of the way
for
I
sure.
see it is like it's going to allow, like I just said a second ago, it's going to allow for the people who have good intentions and who have capabilities of doing things to experiment. But it's not like how people are going to think, I think, where it's going to be the Wild West. If anything, the regulations are going to make it where the scammers and the people are going to have a way harder time. And it might be bad right now for people who are scamming and who are easily rug pulling and stuff, because it's the Wild Wild West. But the another takeaway or another trade off of the regulation is those people are not going to be able to do that as easily, more than likely. So I think regulation overall is good. It's good for the good builders, and then it's it takes away a lot of or makes it harder for a lot of the scammers. So, with that being said, what else we were talking about, the Trump regulatory framework? I want to spend a few minutes on this. I know a lot of it was hyped as like a digital asset. What's it called? Stockpile, where they were going to hold all the digital assets. Do we know which ones they're going to hold yet? I think it's speculated it's going to be the American coins, but we don't have an exact list of the coins that they're gonna keep in the thing yet, right?
No, obviously it's all my bags. It's just only my bags that they're holding.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly ETH though. If you look at their current purchases,
Well, that's WLFI. That's something different. The Treasury is the U.S. Treasury. We're talking the coins that the U.S. government has seized from criminals. So yeah, I think from what I understand is it's not set in stone yet exactly which ones they're going to keep. Um, but and then the CBDC is prohibited is pretty huge as well. I do want to go ahead and move on to the majors. After this, just so you know, if you're new to the show, I want to go ahead and get to the chat real quick. What's up, Roja? What's up, Panda? What's up, Hijack? What's up, 10-year dress? Oh, that's a classic meme. What's up, Bull? What's up, Andre? Saki says feels illegal to get so many insights for free. Appreciate you, brother. Bull says, I wonder why they're bears. They're still bears sometimes. Crypto's an upward acceleration. Yeah, a lot of people base their entire thesis on like whether price is going up currently or not, and that happens. But yeah, either way, let's go ahead and go on to the majors really quick. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. Let me pull TradingView up real quick. Am I already sharing my screen? I believe I am, right?
yeah, we'll switch it over.
Perfect. Great timing to be looking at this right now. Bitcoin is creeping up on all-time highs, or not all-time. Well, yeah, actually all-time highs. You have a lot of feedback, Dangsy.
Sorry.
It's all good, brother. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the majors. Exciting time right now, guys. We're actually creeping up on the all-time high. I think personally, this consolidation right here, actually, it was kind of a corrective channel with lows, fresh lows here, but also kind of did hold this one low. So it's a consolidation and a corrective channel in one. Either way, we're creeping up here. We came out of this correction. I think very, very likely what we've seen this last few days as everybody was digesting the digital asset stockpile news. I think this is going to act as a base that's going to explode and very, very likely break all-time highs here. Again, if we were to stall out over the weekend for a few more days, it's possible we come down. But this strength and momentum right now is telling me, especially when we look at ETH and Sol, this is telling me very, very likely break all-time highs here. I put out a tweet the other day about ETH. About I think it's become abundantly clear that ETH's just about to go crazy. Super, the biggest thing for me and why I just have so much confidence in this, apart from any talk about ETH and its fundamentals, is this just beautiful corrective setup. Again, it's just very, very high likelihood that it again breaks all-time high. And to me, I think it's going straight to 5K. I think ETH is being severely fudded right now, and rightfully so in some ways, because crypto's been 100% meme coin. So of course, whatever chain is dominating the meme coins is, any other chain is not, who doesn't have a lot of high volume meme coin trading, is going to lack in volume. But I think we just need to look as far as what BlackRock, especially what they said in the last few days, how they really want to move fast on tokenizing bonds and stocks. Tokenized bond stocks, RWAs, every contract being an NFT, etc. I think most of that block space demand, meaning most of the activity on the block on blockchains, is going to land on Ethereum and its L2s due to network effects, due to security and decentralization of nodes, and a number of other things. And for that reason, over the next few years, I think ETH could very well outperform Sol. But either way, I think it's going to explode from here and has been suppressed. I think the time to be quote unquote bearish on ETH was here, not now. I think people who are fudding it right now, oftentimes, like I said in this tweet, most people get just absolutely bearish on something like at the bottom. We see it time and time again. So the fact that we're getting this doomsday capitulation narrative is actually very bullish to me. So yeah, ETH I think is going to absolutely explode, probably more than the other two. But either way, Sol also looks great. Sol went absolutely crazy with the Trump coin, and which we'll go over here in a second as well. But yeah, I think Sol, much of the same. It's added a major high here, but I think very, very likely breaks on through here as people start to realize how positive this last few days were. And really how many people came in the last few days, which we'll go over from this Trump thing. So I do want to look at the S&P 500 really quick. And if you guys see any comments, questions, or anything about what I'm looking at, because I'm not looking at the screen, feel free to read it. But beautiful. What happened to my? Find my chart real quick. All right. So I think since the last few months, especially since this correction started in November. I've been telling you this corrective chart behavior here is very reminiscent of every other correction that we've seen over the last year and a half from the S&P 500, with the biggest giveaway being the lack of consolidation before coming down, where most major tops consolidate, meaning go sideways or distribute, like a lot of people like to call it, before coming down. These corrections are the opposite. They just come down out of nowhere. Usually that's the biggest giveaway for me, and then bounces and lows. Either way, telling you that this is a super corrective and that very likely S&P 500 would make new all-time highs very soon, and it did just that today, or yesterday really. And I think my base case for risk assets as a whole, that as long as nothing breaks, we don't get some type of major recession, I do think risk assets are going to continue to the upside. And then if we somehow get rates down to their target without something breaking, and then they turn on the opposite side, which is like easing and potentially like stimulating, I think it's actually going to add way more fuel to the crypto fire, and very possibly could push us into like, a multi-year cycle. But either way, the dollar, the DXY, chime in whenever, for Loco, by the way.
Yeah, no, I have some questions for you guys, and goes back to the majors, and I do agree that all major kind of like BlackRocks of the world and even Trump or Liberty, whatever it was, said he's other kind of like venture in crypto. They're buying Ethereum, and I'm bullish on Ethereum for that sake of things. I do not know if it's going to outperform Solana. It's a possibility, but I also think that the fact that Trump selected Solana, even though we already kind of like saw that the chain was not able to support that much volume. There's a ton of questions there. Whether Ethereum is more reliable than Solana, which possibly it is. But when it comes to like the growth of the chain and revenue metrics, I don't know if I would bet on Ethereum versus Solana when it comes to price appreciation. But I do agree that both of them are going to grow.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't know who the winner is.
100%. And I know on past shows, I've been like super adamant that Sol or the ETH is gonna outperform Sol, just like it kind of did in November. You see, in November, Sol ETH came down. Now that the fact that Trump launched on Sol, I could see a scenario where all the other big names that are inevitably going to launch coins could, most of them go on Sol. And that, in the short term, meaning the next several months, Sol could just continue to outperform for that reason. With that being said, I think Base, I know people that have worked at Base who, having talks and meetings and stuff that like it was like a missed opportunity and stuff. So I think we're gonna start to see Base and some of these other chains. You saw CZ talk about, if you're a celebrity and you want to start a coin on BSC, here's a guide. Like I think most of it's gonna be on Solana, but I could see a lot of them start to launch on Base and other chains as well. But with that being said, I'm kind of 50-50 on the short-term performance of Sol and ETH. We have Sol ETH here, which is actually sitting at a major all-time high. So it's going to do one of two things here. Either it's going to continue through and just continue its rip, or if it reverses here, I could actually see it being a longer-term reversal due to it being a 3-month high here. So it's kind of, I'm 50-50. I just hold a bag of both of these things. I think in the longer term, mid and long term, ETH's going to win out, honestly, just because of the other stuff that's going to be on ETH, the RWAs, all that different stuff we were talking about. But yeah, I do think ETH Bitcoin as well could very well be bottoming out here, but we'll see. Was someone going to say something?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that if that's the case, and I want to hear from all of you guys, do we still believe that the cycles are going to play out the same? Or do we believe that the idea of cycles was perhaps a thing of the past? And now that we have this new administration with so many positive kind of catalysts and kind of like tailwinds. I mean, when we were in 2023, we were saying, okay, this cycle is going to last until 2025. And now that you have all this regulation, it's like, well, are we extending this to 2026 or 2027 or perhaps the 4 years that Trump is in presidency? And like, I really genuinely want to hear from you guys if you think that the cycles
I'll take that first.
Play out a game.
Absolutely. I want to hear from everybody else too. But this is something I think about like a lot and like we talk about every day. And it's like, I think, there's a chance there's a chance that we still get like again, if we get a recession or some black swan that sends us back into a longer bull market, but my thesis or bear market, I'm sorry, like multi-years, like in the past. But I think it's very likely that we've entered a new era. Like, just like you said, that the 4-year cycle could be over. Evident by a few things. One, like you said, the ETF, new buyer coming in. A lot of these new institutions, different buyer. They're not selling, as much as somebody else, like the average crypto retail person that was driving these last cycles. And then the biggest thing for me, and I think a lot of people aren't talking about, and the reason why we could be the biggest sign pointing to the 4-year cycle being over is the fact that every other cycle of the past, you see this one right here, we got corrections in between, but notice they were like a week. We've gotten in the last 2 years, Bitcoin has had 2 6-month corrections, where Bitcoin didn't do anything for 6 months. That's never happened in a cycle before, not once, but twice. I think these act as what I've been saying every time these happen is they act as a cool off period. I see this as kind of a reset. Every time we go in this time, it resets. It allows leverage to cool off. It allows euphoria to cool off. And for that reason, I think that maybe, even though I think this is one big bull market, I think it's possible, again, these resets, these cool offs kind of reset and very likely push us into and break the 4-year cycle. We're very possible, at least for Bitcoin and ETH, which I think is an important distinction. I think the memes and AI stuff eventually is going to pop like it always does. But when it comes to the Bitcoin and ETH that has these ETFs, I think it's very possible we've entered a new era where the 4-year cycle could be broken. But again, something could come out of nowhere, and I'm almost done. But it could come out of nowhere where it could, send us back into a bear market. But without that, I think it's very possible, and we'll see next year that we head into 2026 and kind of break that 4-year cycle.
Yeah, no, that's a great insight. And honestly, there can also be like a little pockets of bear markets, because if you look at the U.S., kind of like we were discussing this, the U.S. manufacturing index, like manufacturing companies have been through a bear cycle for 2 to 3 years now, whereas tech companies, especially Max 7, right, they have been in a bull cycle. So it almost feels like it's an asset class type of like cycle versus overall economy cycle. Whereas depends on the assets that you're invested in and the industries you're invested in, you're going to outperform others, right? It's not like everything gets affected. I mean, obviously it will, but perhaps crypto goes through one of those cycles where other industries are in a downtrend, and just there's so much adoption to crypto and AI that it kind of like lasts longer. So that's how I see it. I think there will still obviously be cycles, just not anything doesn't really just go up all the time. But perhaps it's one of those things where you kind of like split apart the different bear and bull cycles depending on industries. Because I think like obviously crypto and AI are going to be on the rise with the new administration, whereas other industries probably get affected. Like for instance, like one that I track very closely is the kind of like renewable energy, right, and clean energy. All of that stuff is going to get massacred because Trump is like kind of like easing regulations on everything, right, on emissions and et cetera, and like all the incentives that Biden gave renewable energy companies. So I'm just thinking that perhaps this multi-cycle kind of like bear and bull markets depending on the industry that you're in. So
absolutely. No, that's a great take too. And I completely forgot to mention like the Trump meme coin and everything that's happening on the meme coin side is just as important for mass adoption, in the fact that we might see the end of the 4-year cycle as the ETFs, I think. And I didn't even mention that. So I'm glad you brought that up. But I 100% could see that as well. We've kind of just had a 100% meme cycle. I think what we're going to enter, because of how much normie capital is going to enter, that we're going to see good AI coins, good meme coins, good celebrity coins kind of all run at the same time, which will be fun, kind of like last cycle. But ETH, looks absolutely just super bullish to me. I think we're going to break all-time highs here. I think Sui, all of them they're going to continue to the upside. I like AVAX. If you've been on the show for a while, I like AVAX is kind of the L1 kind of best undervalued one right now. But actually Sui, this is the nicest setup I've seen on Sui since this one back in April. So super nice and corrective, even though it's coming down, shows that there's a lot of buy pressure still. So I expect this to continue to the upside soon. Doge, very likely going to let's see. Doge, it's going to bottom out when the rest of the market does. I expect when it does run this next time, that it is very likely going to head towards $1. And there's a Doge ETF filed yesterday. Who knows if that ends up being approved or if there's more. But either way, I think Doge very corrective here, and on this next run is likely going to head towards $1, or at least all-time highs at around 72 cents. Again, AVAX correcting into this low here too. I think crypto gaming All it's going to take is one of these crypto games to really like take on, people in the mainstream to start to play, for the whole space to get a crazy speculative run. Who knows? It could be GTA 6. It could be some random game. We'll see. But I think AVAX looks super nice here. And then I think we went on a while with the with everything. So I want to get on to meme coins. Is there anything else I'm missing as far as?
Did you see TON is the only cryptocurrency able on Telegram now? They only let people use TON.
What?
They make people use TON on Telegram.
I think it's I saw the bots or something. You have to use ton bots or something, but it's
Yeah, you can't use any other cryptocurrency on Telegram now. That's the rule or something.
What were you able to use before? Pay. You could
Like
pay
through like the applications, you could use like ETH and Sol and stuff like that. But now it's only TON.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Didn't help the price though, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. This might just be a reflection of the whole market, but yeah, I would expect it. It needs to probably bottom out here. Either way, if it slips below 4, it could form a bigger top. But I think it's probably going to head up with the rest of the market here soon. So
Yeah.
Take a look at XRP
Let's open
as
up
well.
the chat. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, let's open up the chat for questions. I know that a lot of people have commented, and if anyone has questions, please let us know. We can look at charts. We can discuss topics. So
yeah, I'm going to move over to. We're going to move on to
open.
memes. We're going to move on to AI and memes real quick here in a second. Filthy says, "What's up, Bren? Want to say thank you for everything, Telegram, for the community. Yeah, I appreciate you, Filthy, and everybody else." Tenoli says, "Price target for Giga and SPX." So we'll look at that right now, actually. Before we move on to the memes, is there anything else on the major side or on TradingView that I missed?
Yeah, XRP. If you want to look at WorldCoin, that also could be an interesting buy opportunity.
Yeah, XRP coming out of a perfect correction here. I expect there's actually a lot of talk around the whole American coin thing. Like you have a lot of Danksy, can you mute your mic? My bad. It's really distracting. The whole making the whole reserve around American coins or whatever, which XRP is one of, is a super positive narrative, as well as just a lot of normies are about to come back into crypto. And for that reason, I do think XRP is going to continue up. The time to enter is probably down here when it corrected, but yeah, I think XRP is going to continue the upside. And then WorldCoin, is that on let's see here. Yeah, no, WorldCoin looks pretty crazy.
Is this the Sam Altman token?
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of came out of this correction from before. Now it's just kind of chilling. I mean, there's probably the narrative around Sam Altman with whatever the stuff, their new AI company they're starting with the government or whatever. And he might want to implement WorldCoin in what I'm sure there's a narrative there. Chart-wise, it has been consolidating since August. I could see this being like a nice base here, and it goes to all-time highs if there is the narrative here. So chart looks good. It's been consolidating and holding this low since August, so I do like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this ran.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, it's been tough to really hold anything outside the majors for a long time. If you guys, I mean, obviously there's certain tokens that have outperformed in 2024, but if you look at your kind of like metas over the last few months, most of those are down 30 to 40%. Like it's tough to really hold on to non-majors. And so I've personally, I don't know if you guys have done the same, but most people are fully allocated. And I've personally tried to be a little bit more on stables and cash because there's so many opportunities that come. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's anything bigger than Trump coin. I think that's probably the biggest catalyst, right? But every day there's something that either sucks liquidity or brings in new interest. And it's really starting to kind of like get more and more and more difficult to really hold on to non-majors, right? And I don't know, do you guys see the same or you still have your conviction backs and you are not worried at all about like, kind of like liquidity being so spread out?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I've been holding most of my positions in those core memes that I think are going to have a big year this year. But yeah, no, the AVAX and stuff and the other ones I've only been buying recently because I do think we enter the part of the cycle now because of how much normie capital is going to come in that everything's kind of going to run. But yeah, before that, that's why I just focus kind of on the meme side of the thing, which understandably it's kind of been the only thing that's ran. But with that being said, I do think we're going to enter a period here where kind of some of these older alts that haven't run yet kind of will, just because there's going to be so much capital coming in. That's kind of my thesis.
I kind of agree. I think if you look at the risk reward for alts, it doesn't seem like all season can happen, right? Unless it's specifically like one or two alts that ran. But if you look at like buying alts for buying majors for the last like 4 to 5 months, um, the risk reward isn't really there for majors, and seeing how well the risk reward isn't there for alts, but if you see how well the majors appreciate, like I think alt season hasn't even came yet.
Yeah, but what do you describe as all season, right? Because is it just like the top 50 coins that we discuss as alts, or memes also are part of the alt season? Oh, because we can have just multiple different cycles, but just curious of what you think an alt season would look like.
I would say maybe some memes, but mostly like we're seeing less L1s being launched this year. We're just seeing less projects being launched that's getting up to that top 100 besides meme coins. It seems like it's just dominated by memes. You're not really seeing like besides Sui, you don't really see any extreme gains on the on L1s or non-meme altcoins.
All right, so are altcoins for you like BC tokens, like let's call it the SUIs, the AVAX of the world, or are anything that is not majors, right? Because then you should probably include also AI tokens, meme coins, and other categories as well. Yeah, the launch is way more fair, is through Pump.Fund, so we can call it meme, but technically some of these projects are actually building stuff. So I wonder if we're kind of like ignoring the fact that we've had an alt season. It just hasn't been the alts that we all expected that we're going to run, whether it was like gaming, L1s, deep end, et cetera, et cetera. It's just things keep evolving in crypto. But I do think we've had multiple alt seasons already, just not the ones that we all wanted to go up. But that's my perspective. I don't know if you guys see it differently.
I think
And thanks.
meme coins and AI coins, like the fair launched ones, not VC ones, are ranked significantly higher than where they should be due to them being fully diluted or fully like the whole supply is being traded all at once, and then some other coins have like 50 to 80% still in the treasury or still being held by the team, so they don't rank that high on CoinMarketCap. That's also
Yeah, but honestly, don't you think the opposite is true as well? Because normally low floated and high FDV tokens tend to pump more, right? Because if like a token like Trump holds 80%, the price appreciation is going to be way more explosive. And we saw it with other tokens in the previous cycles as well. I do think that the fair launches are much better because you get a chance to build a community and everyone gets a chance to participate in the upside versus just the VCs. But at the same time, I don't know if that the fact that there's all the supply on the market is more beneficial for the token.
Yeah, no, for
price
sure.
appreciation.
You're right, and that's why I think I'm so heavy, and I have seven figures. Like most of my portfolio in these coins that have distributed amongst 90, 80%, 90% corrections, amongst multiple months, plus months. And that's why I think the Trump thing is like a different trade. Yeah, the tokenomics aren't great, but you gotta separate who the operator is. So 80% for like an average person who's holding it, yeah, that guy's probably going to dump it out. But when you're the president who has lockups, who has the capability of supporting it for a long time, I think it's a little bit different, and it's a bet kind of on Trump and the operator side. Whereas the SPX gigas, all that, I'm buying those because of the communities and then that supply distribution, which again can only come through multiple 90% crashes and stuff. So you made a great point there, and that's why I think this Trump coin I think is a great trade over the next few months, which we'll talk about. But when these unlocks happen, it could get definitely dicey in the short term.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's the point I was trying to make to Jenks. It's like, honestly, I think the low float is actually better for tokens pumping. And I would say that the fact that Solana is getting more efficient and more efficient is also affecting how much the tokens pump. And the amount of tokens are right now with Pump.Fund. So there's like oversupply and also easiness to sell, right? So people, so like previous cycles where Ethereum is like you always had to think it twice, and that's why I pivoted to Base as well, even though it's cheaper. I see way less selling on the Base chain on Ethereum than I see it on Solana. So it makes the conviction and holding things longer term even more difficult for me. But I don't know if you guys are seeing it the same way. Yeah. And then I wanted to ask you, Brent, I don't know if you are very aware, but since we're going to be talking about Giga and SPX, do you know how much of that supply is held by Murad and those guys?
Yeah, if you look on chain, hold on. I'm trying to pull up the window that I'm in right now. Sorry, I accidentally exited.
Do you think it's over 20% or less?
No, hell no. He owns a few percent. None of these coins. That's the whole point. Why everybody's so bullish on the coin. Like, kind of what's looked at as too much. Like a bundle is like over 3%. So no, Murad owns like 1 or 2% of these coins. I think SPX he has like 25 or 30 million worth at 800 billion. So I don't even 800 million. So maybe 3 or 4%. What is that? Something like that. So no,
Yeah.
SPX and Giga he owns a little bit more, but no, like the Gigas or the Mogs, all those other ones he owns 1% or less.
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
kind of over time he'll become less and less. Like his supply will be diluted, and why when he does sell next year, and stuff like that, it won't really matter as much as it would right now.
Agreed.
Where he just has like
Why are
hella
you looking at
wallets and just owns like 10% or something.
That's always possible, but he's shown no reason that he's not been completely transparent so far. So, I do want to move on to some actual meme charts. Let me see here.
You probably have to reshare, and then
yeah, just give me a second here. Pull up for a second while I'm setting this up. For Loco, do you want to pull up, or you're not able to share your screen? Hold on.
I can share. What do you want me to pull up?
Yeah, just pull up some AI stuff while I do this. Hold on.
Well, let's go first through the major memes and then AI, because I think AI is kind of like a smaller sector. So, Danksy, you want to pull up? You already pull up Doge. You want to pull up Pepe or Popcat as well? Because I want to see how those legacy memes are doing, actually.
Popcat. Let me mute my mic.
Or Pepe, yeah.
Oh no.
Bro, be going hard.
Me?
Here we go. Popcat. I mean, Brad would love it. Love this corrective channel.
Here, so I can share my screen too. My bad. I just had to handle something really quick. So let's see, and definitely, guys, recommend. Definitely have some suggestions in the chat. We'll be looking at that. When we get in Bren, never. I'm not launching a coin. Enjoying every bit of this stream. Been a while seeing this type of in-depth analysis. Yeah, I appreciate you for being on, brother. Popcat, though, yeah, just go based off what Danksy's screen now. I think Popcat looks super corrective. Again, the biggest thing is the lack of consolidation up top, the multiple bounces. I think Popcat just kind of ran for like, what was it, months on end, through summer and spring when a lot of stuff wasn't moving. And then when the AI stuff kind of, took over and stuff like that, it had a rotation. And that always happens. There's always going to be corrections on every, quality coin. But Popcat still has a ton of mind share. I see it making a new all-time high with everything else here pretty soon. And yeah, Popcat, for me, I kind of put it in a basket. I think it probably hits 3 to 5 billion this year. Kind of in the basket of like the singular memes were very popular, but still around one image or singular meme. And that's kind of the basket I put it in, but I think it's going way higher from here. Do you want to share? Do you want to pass it to my screen?
Yeah, take a look at WIF. Someone asked, 10-year dress asked about WIF, because obviously
you got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So,
WIF hat. WIF.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah.
I have to go on Trading View.
That was like the second meme coin to ever explode, I feel like.
So with super deep correction, 75%, lost a bunch of mind share. With that being said, anybody who's been around for a while, like Doge and even all these other ones have gone through major corrections before. It's not my favorite. I don't own any WIF, but with that being said, I could see it consolidate and then head back to the upside. later this year, just due to what, still having pretty massive mind share and still bigger people talking about it. Ansem and them still hold a ton. So whenever it does start going up, they're going to be talking about it. I do think, I think it's very possible it's bottom out here. It's not my first pick. I don't own any, but with that being said, if I had to guess, I think very likely moves up and probably hits all time highs again at some point.
What do you think, Brent? What do you think the room is for all these meme coins to actually go back to all time highs? Like, if you had to bet, like we normally kind of like talk about the top 50. How many of those by market cap, let's say from 500 million to 1.5 billion or 2 billion? I think
I think
Penguins.
I think a billion's going to be like
How many of those actually make it?
Absolutely. I think a billion's going to be like the new 100 million. Like, we just saw how, obviously it was Trump and Melania, but we took 2 coins from 0 to 70 billion. It just goes to show how, I understand it was Trump, right? But how little money it actually takes these coins to get to that. If it was like impossible for a bunch of coins to get there, we would have had 2 in one day. With that being said, I think the Trump thing kind of opens up a new paradigm, even though I've been saying this for a bit, that the coins that have the supply distribution, the communities that have been building 6 months plus, I think there's going to be so much normie capital coming into meme coins, especially now, that we're going to see a bunch of coins. We're going to see a shit ton of coins hit a billion. That's going to be the new 100 million, like I said. But 10 billion, there's going to be a good amount. And then we're going to see several coins hit 20 to 50 billion plus, maybe 5 coins, who knows. The Gigas, SPX, Mogs that not only have that supply distribution, but have the movement and content, all the other boxes kind of checked. Of course, that's not going to be a bunch of them, but I think it's a number of them. I wouldn't focus on the top 50 right now, because I think there's a lot of them that are, in the middle there that are going to head to the top. But yeah, that's kind of my bet. I think there's going to be a ton of coins hitting a billion. It's going to be a new paradigm. And then 10 billion is, even though there's one coin right now there, kind of Pepe, aside from Doge and SHIB and the Trumps, I do think we're going to see a bunch of coins above a 10 billion this year. So
I'm hoping you're right, and the retail comes in with more liquidity, because when Trump dropped his token, pretty much all other meme coins were down 30 to 40% on the day.
Yeah, and that's a great point too. That's a great point too. I think it's going to come to a point where the market there's going to be a bunch of these kind of celebrity types dropping it, where there's not going to be such a liquidity suck from every time. People are going to be kind of start to used to it, one, and then two, there's going to be so much, more capital, God willing, like floating around, that it's not going to affect the market as much. Where just one coin, obviously, if Justin Bieber or somebody just massively above just a generational star makes one, then yeah, it's gonna have a liquidity suck. But I think the market's not gonna react as much as it is now to every little celebrity dropping a coin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's see let's go kind of the way I see it again. Let's go. My where most of my money again is just as the SPX, Gigas, Mogs, again, because of the supply distributions, all that. I think very likely this looks pretty super corrective, and then as Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol head up here, we're going to start to see a lot of the quality memes and AI coins start to head back to the upside as well. SPX, Giga, same thing. Just notice the most important thing is that these coins, while most other shit was collapsing, are holding super strong. So Giga, SPX, FWOG, MOG. If you're looking to deploy some capital, still, these are kind of the ones that I would recommend the most that you look at. Again, due to all those dynamics, I think FWOG 75%, but still super strong community, good content. I see this one is very, very likely recovering back to all-time highs. And then maybe the most undervalued right now, kind of the ones I'm focusing on, is ticker Bitcoin, due to it being under 200 million still. Not that one. Not that one either.
Yo.
What's up, dude?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
What's up, Yoni?
Epic. What's good, boys? How are you?
Good, bro.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Ticker Bitcoin, though, probably the most undervalued. Just the fact it's under 200 million. So yeah, all of those is kind of what I've still been focusing on and buying, despite of, I have pretty big positions in, again, because I just think they're just no brainers, and just super great risk to reward bets right now. Like just still under $1 billion and still a ton of upside. I know these guys probably want to get into some AI stuff as well. As far as, those 5 or 6 is what I'd focus on that side. AI, let's just go into some AI stuff as well, if we don't see anything in the chat. Um, what is your take on like the current state of the AI market too, for Loco? Do you think most of these things are going to recover? Like what are you thinking right now? It looks like a lot of this stuff is bouncing back pretty nicely. I like how Trisig looks right now, but kind of what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it's bouncing up so much. Even myself, to be honest, what I mentioned at the beginning is just I see the liquidity so spread out, and you see the strength of Solana, yet meme coins or certain tokens on Solana are not really performing as well. And I think it's because there's a lot of exhaustion in general. There's a lot of different projects coming up every other day. I don't know if you guys saw that other developer came out yesterday, TMC. He's like a developer from I think
Yeah,
it's
Nvidia.
Microsoft or something. Yeah, that's right, Nvidia. And
Yeah,
so it's like people like this are gonna just start coming up with tokens that also have great reputation IRL. And so it's just gonna keep taking more and more and more attention. And so what I've been doing is overall my largest holdings are AIXBT and Farcoin. I've said it in a while because what I look more than value and utility right now is attention. And the mindset on those two have been consistently top 1 and 2 for the last 2 months. So those are my two holdings. I don't know what's going to happen. Perhaps next month everything changes, but it's difficult for me to really justify holding and tying up all my liquidity across sub 50 million or sub 100 million AI tokens, just because I don't know if next month they're going to get completely disrupted. And so I do still hold Trisig. I love it. I think it's a great beta from AIXBT, but the market seems to put way more value on attention and mindshare, as we've seen with meme coins as well, than on actual teams building. And so even yesterday and the day before, we saw a max exodus from AI, meme coins or
yeah,
AI plays into other sectors. So what do you see, Johnny?
same thing. I mean, like, I think that my perspective is becoming more and more yours, like yours and Bren's, as time goes on, because I'm seeing how heavy the rotation is. Like, don't get me wrong, these AI projects are amazing, and they're definitely going to keep crossing over. But these rotations have been brutal, and like you said, it's been a little bit easier. I think if you're in stuff like one of my biggest holdings is AIXBT too, and recently it's been a lot more stable than the rest of them. But like ARC is one of my biggest bags, and I have conviction in. But now after this next pump, like I might consider rotating into stuff maybe that has a little bit more mind share or potentially cult stuff, because not all of it, but I just mean really taking profits more aggressively, because it's getting harder and harder for me as the bull run goes on to just see these mega pumps come and then see all of this pullback 1-2 days later. We're not even really getting more than 2 days of pump. And a lot of these AIs are getting swept like 40% coming off, and then they're having to pump all that again to get back to where you were. So I'm starting to think of,
Yeah.
like you said, stuff with less mind share, or that's holding up less. I might just start aggressively taking profits and opening up bigger positions in stuff that seems a little bit more stable, whether it is Fartcoin or maybe Goat, maybe some other stuff that feels like they could hold it, that's on a correction. But yeah, I'm still a big holder of Buzz, still a big believer of Moby, hold big positions, but I will be looking to, I think, rotate profits a little bit more aggressively on the next couple pumps.
Yeah, for sure. And I
Yeah,
do
I think
need to
that's
go
fair.
over I need to go over Trump. I forgot about that. We'll do that in a second. But yeah, no, good point. I think right now it's evident. A lot of people on crypto Twitter, like just narrative wise, trying to make it about tech, which I think there is some credence to that. But like Yoni just said, every single major one that's run, Zero Bro, AIXBT, Fartcoin, Goat has been from one of two things: either just pure attention or just memetics and like cult like behavior, in Fartcoin and Goat. So until the tech is just like a completely novel and something comes out of crypto AI that's like super novel, which I'm not sure is going to happen, it's going to be an attention game, right? So you're completely
Yeah.
right by that. Like saying that for Loco, I do think Trisig though does look pretty good and does head higher, but the ones that dominate are, again, not going to be because they have the greatest tech. It's going to be because the operator's ability to like hype people up, whether it be through whatever, or being a cult. So someone asked about Vine though before I forget. I do think Vine still looks pretty corrective. I think that guy Russ today, it's confusing. He doesn't. I don't think he really owns the IP anymore behind Vine. I'm not sure if Elon, if they were to bring him back, if he's involved at all in bring Vine back, if that guy's involved at all. I don't think so. But either way, I think it is going to run at least one more time. He's supposed to come out with something today. We'll see. Either way, the chart looks pretty corrective. I sold 80% of my Vine. I got it around 130, 140. Yoni could probably talk to you a little bit. He was looking at it way lower, but 130, 140 as it was correcting here the other day. And then I took like 80% off near 400 and then holding the rest. So I think it continues higher, very likely. We'll watch on that though. As far as the AI stuff, I do like Fartcoin does look nice and corrective here. I think it does continue higher. Obviously, there's a huge cult behind Fartcoin at this point. My biggest, or what I'm making my biggest AI bet here, still have a big AI XBT and somewhat big Zero Bro bag. That I do think GOAT, especially after the tweet from Andy recently. I think GOAT is kind of the best setup right here overall, and could be the only multi-cycle AI meme coin in my opinion. So,
What do you guys think of that move, Johnny? Did you see what Andy did in Truth Terminal?
Yeah,
with Fartcoin and Gold.
yeah, he wanted to like toss the Fartcoin to like kind of re-up GOAT back again.
Yeah, but also he's also kind of like almost setting up, human-led type of like
Yeah.
wallet, right? Like because he
Right.
wants to make sure that these AI agents don't go kind of like crazy or whatever, they go sideways. But the truth is, we are all betting in this tech for AI agents and sentient agents to actually manage these wallets. If we are now bringing it back to the humans, yeah, we're supervising the AI agents, but now it's kind of like coming back a little bit to the point that it's like, then are we just dealing with robots and they're not really fully sentient and like inference-led
I think the whole
agents? That's the
point is
part that I'm
that
kind of like, okay.
I think he's setting it up so when it does become sentient here soon, there's like all the legal framework. I think they do have a council that they set up so that it doesn't go off the rails and do crazy shit.
Could you imagine it goes off the rails? It has access to millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, no, it's definitely
But
interesting.
I think it's good for Go too, because otherwise Farcoin is really getting pretty much all the love. But it's not really even like because, it's just funny, right? Like and people resonate with it, right? Whereas Go was kind of like the original one. So I think they're trying to reward members that were supporters by buying some Goat. But I don't know. The whole situation is kind of like, we kind of like feels like going back a few steps back for some reason. But that's my perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of these AI stuff's going to recover. I think again, my take is just because they haven't gone through, a lot of them are now, haven't gone through these 80 or 90% crashes, that the supply distribution and just there's not as much diamond handedness that they're going to be, it's going to go harder for these ones to go to 5-10 billion versus a lot of these cult memes where people are holding for much higher prices and aren't the first thing that people are dumping. With that being said, I think there is some good opportunities in the AI stuff right now with GOAT, AI XBT, and several other things. So
Yeah, but
I'm adding to GOAT mostly.
on the topic of things are changing though relatively quick, because it's kind of like what we were saying, where everyone's thesis is kind of playing out while still like a Darwinism is kind of like going on. Because I still don't believe that all these cults, with these cult dynamics that existed a year ago that were thriving, are like, I still, like we keep saying, the SPXs, the Gigas, most likely the Fwogs, and some of these other ones that have shown their hand early. But like, if you
Define thriving though, you talking about the coin?
yeah, I'm talking about the coin. Like, if you look at some of these other cults that were absolutely killing, they've been down and hurting. Like, I think
Yeah.
Michi's been hurting bad. Like, a lot of the old cult coins that aren't like SPX, Giga, and a few others still have been hurting. I think
Yeah, you got to put it in perspective though. They're still up massively. Like Mishi's like just back to where like prices where it was like this summer. So yeah, no, I agree. I think prices are down, but I think that's the whole point is like why these communities are so resilient is because they're still super bullish during these times down, and usually those are the ones that do recover.
So is the answer to hold or to trade, right? Like in this sentiment overall.
Mishi, like in what situation?
Yeah, I guess it's per situation. I guess by majority, it seems like, other than
Buying and holding, people buying and holding the good coins this year are going to outperform 90% of people that are trading. There's so many different variables you can lose money in this game unless you're super precise. Have been doing it for 5 or 10 years. Like I'm telling you, that's why I'm so like big on the buying and holding. Most people, I've just experienced so much time. Even people who have been doing this for a long time that are just constantly rotating, they eventually just give most of their gains back. And it doesn't seem like that right now because it's been more of a trader's market the last couple months, but it's going to become evident this year, just like it was in last cycles, that people that are buying and holding the good shit are going to outperform mostly everybody. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I kind of like agree with both of you guys. Um, you have to pick the right coins to hold, though, Johnny and Brian. I agree, because honestly, most tokens are not really a hold. If you
Yes.
look at what does happen, whether it's meme coins, AI, if you held all your kind of like even Cerebro, right? Like we are super bullish on Cerebro, and I really hope that Cerebro comes back. But if you held that thing from 3 to 500 or 800 million down to where you are, you're down like
I did.
80%,
I
right?
sold it down.
So
I did. That
Yeah,
was me.
no, that's why I think you got to put on. I want to hear what Yoni said. But you got to put these things into different boxes, and that's why I do with the AI stuff. My Gigas SPX Mogs, I have the thesis they're going way higher, so I haven't sold any yet. But these AI coins that are brand new, I'm taking profits on the way up on. And I suggest people take partial profits on the way up of anything, as I will with Giga and SPX and Mog, just not yet. I think that's the key, is holding the good stuff while also locking in gains and not being stupid and round tripping all your gains. I think that's a balance that a lot of people aren't able to do. And I think that's why I set up this strategy where I take partial profits on the way up, because I used to do the same thing, back in the day. So, and still do sometimes.
yeah. I think that's a smart way. It's like you want to hold your conviction plays, but obviously always take some profits on the way up. Otherwise, you're going to end up back holding most of your portfolio, to be
Yeah, I guess
honest.
it's just like really follow someone that you trust, someone in this channel or someone that you trust, because once upon a time, not so long ago, conviction plays. Because I remember getting mentorship from guys before the AI stuff came in, and the cult guys who are big traders, and the cult stuff and mentorship might have looked a little bit like, make sure you're holding some Mumu, make sure you're holding some Michi, make sure you're holding some Billy, even, of course, like SPX Giga, like that's what people were talking about with like the animal meta before all of this. And I don't think a lot of those are still holds. They've been bleeding out.
Moo looks rough.
This shit is at like 20 million. A lot of these look rough. Tremp looks rough.
There's
these
not a lot of coins where you can just hold and not look at every day. Or there's
right.
If you're in those coins, like
You
you're
gotta
either
be
getting
checking.
lied to, you have to check it, or you have to be going in and out. There's no
Right.
I do want to talk about Trump, though. I completely forgot about that. So, to me, I think you really got to put into the fact that these guys' unlocks are not for 2 months. They haven't sold a single penny yet. I think you got to put it into everything's all about probabilities, right? Nothing's 100%, right? You got to ask yourself, and really why I think this is, no, obviously very likely going to go up. Again, is these guys have no unlocks for 2 months. That's only 10% of the total unlocks. I think it's more likely that, besides the chart pattern, which I think looks pretty decent, the chances that they're going to support it with a few low effort tweets or whatever the hell things, conserve and potentially pull hundreds of millions, if it goes for years, billions of dollars out of this thing, and make people happy, especially with this whole crypto stuff they're trying to get across, rather than them just completely letting hundreds of millions or billions of dollars go to zero or down 80% and piss a bunch of people off. With that being said, for those reasons, I do think there's very likely that they're going to continue to support it. And this coming down right here is more just a reflection of the overall market kind of just coming down the last few days. I do think when Bitcoin starts to pump again, that we will see Trump come up regardless. And again, all it's going to take is one or two tweets or something, some integration, something to bring it back up. So yeah, I think after a 0 to 100 or $15 billion run in a couple of days, we should expect a 50% correction. So with that being said, I'm still holding my Trump, and I did buy some yesterday. I'm expecting, it is possible it comes down one more time to 5, which would still be like a 60% correction. Not anything to worry about, in my opinion. And I do think it continues higher, very likely before their next unlock in 2 months.
Actually, I just looked at Michi too while I was talking about it, because I was kind of going in, and Michi could recover, but a lot of these other ones I don't think will.
Like what? What do you think's not going to recover?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't want to stay too strong on like not recovering, because things can bounce, and when they do bounce, they bounce pretty hard, relatively quick, like the Mumus and stuff. I guess I could just say, if I was holding all that shit, I wouldn't feel comfortable right now.
Yeah, Mumu, I only think not even anything. Just the only thing I don't like about Mumu is that it literally consolidated for 6 months and then came down. That's telling me very likely that they're selling at the top. I don't know, like just from regular holders or what, but a lot of distribution, and it's down 90%. It just, it doesn't look great. Again, the biggest takeaways, I always tell people in these streams, again, the biggest sign of a correction, meaning it's going to continue to the upside, is zero consolidation, right? Like here. Complete opposite here. We got 6 months of consolidation, and that's, that opens up the room for this to drop 90%. So,
Ooh, Vine looks like it's bleeding right now.
yeah.
You want to open it up quick?
Yeah, we were looking at it before you came on.
My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I think it's making a second low. I don't know the longevity of this because, again, I don't think the guy has any ownership in Vine anymore, even if they do bring it back. I could be wrong about that, but either way, this looks pretty corrective, and I think he did rumor or like allude to
for one more pump.
something coming today. So yeah, I do think so. I'm already out 80% from my entry at around 150, 130, but that where we're at right now.
I have a small position I let ride too.
Exactly. Let's see. I think there was a few comments in here that are missing. Oh, SPX and Giga predictions. Yeah. So like I said, I put a lot of the AI stuff, the AI XBT, Zero Bros, probably 3 to 5 billion. But again, I do think Giga SPX, MOG, all these ones with all these dynamics we've been talking about, conservatively go to 10 billion. I know that sounds crazy because it's 10x from here. But that's my conservative target. And I do buy into the fact that very likely, if we're kind of entered a new paradigm with even before Trump, I think there's very likely that several coins get to that 50 billion mark, especially now with this Trump thing. So I think Giga, SPX, potentially MOG, a lot of these, pretty much SPX and Giga probably being the two front runners that I think very likely get to 50 billion, or at least 20 to 50, I would say. So either way, I think these coins not only are solid, are very, 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 very little rug risk, but just insane upside potential. And that's why I've just been, laser focused on accumulating these the last couple months.
Bren, we got a TikTok commenter. If you want to do a price prediction on XRP, it'd be great.
Let's go. I love that. What's the person's name?
Oh yeah, just
yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, for watching us on TikTok. I think price prediction is really tough, man, because it's already in price discovery. But if there's an ETF and stuff, what's it at right now, market cap wise? Like
300 billion or something, maybe
180. Could this thing go to $1 trillion like where Bitcoin was, before that? Very possible, man. I don't know. That's a lot of money, but an ETF, very well could take it there. So it's not my best risk to reward bet, but if you're already holding this, man, I think it does go hold it higher this year. If you've been holding it for a while, for several years, I implore you to take some profits. I know a lot of people think this is the next world reserve currency, and who fucking knows? Maybe it is, but I would still take some profits on the way up. Either way. But yeah, no, I think it goes way higher. Price prediction exactly? I don't know. I could see this thing going to 10.
What's the vibes? What's the vibes on XRP? What do you think? You think it's going to bring on more retail?
I think
for sure.
Yeah, it's just really
it's retail's coin.
Yeah, it's just really easy. It's like a really palatable like narrative that any normies are like can hop on, just like this like like you show them these videos of whatever, it's the conspiracy videos that they're gonna fucking take over the banking industry and all this shit. I think it's really palatable by normies, and that's why a lot of them hop on. So yeah, I think it has and will continue to be like a normie narrative that because there's a lot of normie types are in it already.
So. Yeah, I feel like Doge, Trump, and XRP are like the three biggest normie onboarding coins, like throughout this entire period, like throughout inception.
Yeah, definitely up there. Let's see. Yeah, Doge for sure.
Like you'll go talk to people's moms, brothers, like aunts, like they know XRP if they know crypto. It's really wild. Like the crypto community, XRP community has really done some wild advertising because they're everywhere. They've infiltrated. It's like the Alex Jones demographic mixed with like, I don't know. They've infiltrated everyone, every household.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's why that's going up, because that diamond-handed stuff. Papachetto says not the meta to hold coins, just rotate, hold, soul, ape new launches. Yeah, that might have been that might be the quote unquote meta during corrections, but it's going to become evident next year that most people that it's going to be with how much people are coming in, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, but there's going to be a lot of opportunity to lose money too. Becomes harder when more people are coming in, unless you're very, very precise. So yeah, the meta might have been to kind of trade during corrections, but not this year. I think
And
holders.
like,
Are
I'm
gonna
not
win.
sure if you, on that note, I'm not sure if you've spoken about like the state of the trenches right now as of recently. And it is like there are runners, but it's tough, man. It's really not easy to trade. Like you see things going to 30 million, 100 million, 50 million, and people are assuming like obviously there are some people making money left like hand over fist, but a majority of these people are getting washed on entries, getting washed on reversals. Like it's really not as easy as you think to catch them. These things are going to 20 or 30 in like 30 minutes before you see them, and then you're tripping about an entry. You don't know if it's gonna go
Yeah,
up or go down. It's catching a lot of people.
absolutely, and that's why I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying I would tell people don't avoid the trenches. It's something where you think it's fun, but you got to understand that most of the people that are going to win, it takes a lot of time. The most people are going to win are people who've been doing it for a while, who are very precise and smart in this thing, or two that have people that have social capital. Number one, who kind of
Yeah.
have diminished people.
Or a massive bag to keep losing until they win.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess yeah, definitely like. But is that I think most people who do that again, and I don't recommend anyone doing that that's brand new, is because most people I know are doing that are like, it's like a guy who hit like 100K in Vegas, and then most of the time they give it back to the market. It's
Yeah,
just
you're not wrong.
again, unless you have social capital and you have people following your wallets and who are willing to ape everything you're doing, then that's a different
Yeah,
game.
you're right. Most of the people I had in mind were people that had social. You're right, social capital.
And then if you're brand new to this game, you just came into crypto 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago from the Trump thing, and you're asking yourself, you're seeing all these people trading the trenches. I implore you right now, join the Telegram channel. I talk about this all the time, but the, your best bet at winning, you give yourself 10 times better chance of winning of identifying stuff that's in good corrections right now that's already proven itself and buying and holding those than rotating and playing the low cap lottery. There's a reason if you look at the pump fund numbers, like 98% of people have lost money on pump fund. It's literally like an actual casino. So yeah, I would take that into account. Just make sure you have your buy and hold portfolio kind of set up before you play in the trenches. That's always my advice.
We got a comment here. If you want to pull up Mudang from
yeah.
Crypto Comrade.
Yeah, so I think Mudang being on Coinbase, the fact that I still have a lot of people asking about it, kind of the same with Peanut and Fred. Even though it's corrected 75%, I think this is exactly what you want to see on Mudang, this big correction. If it does go up here, it's evident there is an actual community behind it, and that would be extremely bullish, right? With that being said, do I think that happens? I think there's a good chance this does look corrective. And again, it is on Coinbase. Yes, the initial announcement didn't send it, but the fact is millions of people are coming into crypto this year, and they only have 12, and a lot of them are going to use Coinbase, a lot of the Americans, and there's only 12 meme coins or whatever on Coinbase. So, any of the ones that are on there are going to have the upper hand in a lot of ways. And so if that being said, I do think there's a very good chance that Mudang does go back to all-time highs this year.
Brian, you want to do something kind of fun that we never really do?
Sure. Yeah, what's up?
You want to open up something I just saw live in the chart and see if you would trade it?
Sure, why not? What is it?
KIT.
Kitsune?
Yep.
Kitsune?
Maybe Kitsune or Kitsune.
Kitsune? Yeah, so not a lot of information on this. I don't know.
Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's only 2 hour candles, so it could be a correction, but it's just not a lot of information. What is it? Do you know
I think
what's
it might be an agent on Griffin, or it could all be LARP. This is the state of the trenches. Something comes out an hour ago while we're talking about it, and we can move on. I don't want to take up space. You're looking at it at super high. You're still trying to figure out what it is, what it isn't. Seeing a correction, but you don't really have much data on the chart. Really, it's still like a best guess, even though it looks like pretty corrective. And so you're essentially gambling until you can find something to give you more conviction in. And this is an hour old, right? This could easily reverse. This could easily be nothing, or it could go to 200 million tomorrow. It's really, really tough to trade these things with such limited information on the chart and about the project.
Yeah, just chart-wise, this is just not great probabilities that it went from 100K to 25 mil in a few minutes. It's kind of just a 50-50, right? Like, I mean, that's where you have to kind of go into the Telegram and whatever. But this is just the fact that it shot to 0 to 25. I would probably avoid it just for that, unless there's just some crazy narrative behind it that I don't know about. It would have been nice if, again, it maybe shot up like 5 or 10x and then started correcting, but like straight up in the air like this and then kind of just going sideways, I feel like it could go either way, especially in the short term. But I think that's definitely, definitely I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm sure, we see charts like this a lot.
Yeah, this is what the trenches are. That's what I'm saying. Like this is literally what it's been in recent times. It just so happens to be that one or two of them might be Elon or Vine, right? Where there's a bigger narrative to take it to 200, but things are going to 10, 15, 20 quick, and you're faced with this decision over and over and over again if you're not there super early. I'm all over the place, and it's still not easy to be there sub a couple million, you know? So it's tough.
Especially if it's like just an agent. If it's more obvious, like okay, this could be the Vine token, you have like something to trade off of. But yeah,
Right, but even in the beginning, bro, you saw I traded that and I sent that to you guys in our group chat very early. You didn't know until the information is coming out. There have been a billion Vine tokens. You
Yep.
didn't know what was real or what wasn't. You didn't know whether the tweet was AI or not. Like we didn't know.
John,
You know?
you're right. I'm with you here. There's
It's
so
all
much shit
thought.
coming out from Pump Fund and tokens that you don't know which one is which.
Bro, I had Vine and still oversold it because you didn't know. You didn't know. People were saying so many different things. It's really hard to kind of block that out and get the information you need to remain having conviction. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
And that's
much
why-
easier to look back and see which ones are
Exactly.
which once they pumped and everything's been settled. But during that period, like there's fudders, there's 50 other Vine tokens. Like I totally agree with you.
Exactly. All right, we don't have to take too much time on it. Did you finish Moodang too? I don't want to cut
Yeah.
you off.
Yeah, no, you're good. I did finish it. Yeah, no, you make a good point. I think that's why, like, even if you don't know it's the Vine token, you take your profits and then hold a small moon bag in case it is the Vine token is kind of the strat. I think is probably gives you the best shot. Alon, yeah, interesting one too. I think a lot of these that
Like
are
imagine aping Elon like we saw people do at 150 or 200, right, with their lives, thinking it was going to a billion right away, and then getting hit with that retrace. Like that's tough, and they were going in with size.
yep. That's why.
Like look how long this token. Like go out to days and see how long this token's been out here for. It's
No,
it's
yeah.
only been yesterday that it pumped.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's because he like confirmed it yesterday. Yeah, he confirmed it yesterday. He like claimed the coin.
Yeah.
Who did?
Wow. That,
Alon. He
that,
started-
that one we just pulled up, Kit, is at 32 million.
Yeah, but the ones you just got to separate like a lawn token, which he like is it going to be integrated to the pump fund or something? Probably not, and like a potential Vine token or some big celebrity. I think a lot of these are more likely to dump out because there's not obvious narratives to them or somebody running it. But with that being said, this does look corrective. I could see it continuing. I think it got listed on Binance Alpha, which who knows what the hell that means nowadays, but yeah, I think it was on the Binance Alpha today. Did any of those off the alpha actually ever gotten listed? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I saw I saw that Coinbase today said they were like giving extra support to Toshi and Giga and whatever that got listed on Perps as well, I think.
Yeah. Crypto Envy says buying and hold feels like a death sentence. Yeah, I mean when there's stuff's coming out every day, it definitely can feel that way. But you got to understand, you got to look historically at the people that have won in crypto and anything overall is the people who buy and hold it and believe in something and wait, wait through the bad times. Because when you rotate with so much going on in crypto, the chances that you're going to hit the right play at the right time and then put into something else and then go to another without losing money overall, especially if you're new, are almost slim to none. Whereas, if you believe in something, yes, it may be painful and stressful at times. But again, you go and look at these charts, they go 80 or 90%. If they're a real community and strong, they recover. It's that much more worth it. It happens all the time. So
And you can kind of look at the proof now with some of these. I hate to be a fucking maxi, but it was brutal to hold I hold a big bag of fog and still it was brutal to hold fog. Like it was not brutal to hold Giga or SPX through this entire process. Like it's
and that just shows the diamond handedness and that people are holding towards a bigger mission than just price go up. It's just
even during Trump mania, Melania mania, AI mania, like as soon as they've caught their last strides, I think Mog is like the last to kind of make this last jump. This might be honestly the last time for people to be able to buy Mog like this while it's dormant. Because if ETH time comes and then Mog crosses that place that it doesn't want to come back underpriced for a long time anymore, honestly, Mog still might be the best buy right now where it's at.
Yeah, no, I think Mog is the best risk to reward, even though Bitcoin's at 200. I think risk to reward wise,
just such a strong project. That's just
Yeah, no, I think Mog at 600 million is a no brainer. I think Mog 5 to 10 billion for sure in my eyes. That's a basket I put it in, but could go much higher. So yeah, beautiful correction on Mog. Definitely a good point. What time is it?
11.22.
Perfect. 11. Wow. It's already 11:22. Damn. I definitely want to get into NFTs a little bit, Rhodes. Are you still with us, brother? If not, it's okay. We'll definitely pull up.
I am here. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Eating a carrot.
A carrot?
What are you, Rudolph?
Yeah,
No,
all right.
I'm a bunny rabbit.
Bro's staying healthy. But yeah, as far as the meme coins and everything going on right now, guys, I do think we haven't checked Bitcoin in a little bit. I do think the majors very likely will break to the upside here, and with that, the quality memes and everything will. I think we've kind of crossed the chasm. We kind of the point of no return where we are going to start to see, especially if another notable person, which I think is inevitable, another one or two big superstars or whatever drop a coin that it's going to become evident that momentum is so strong. Normies are coming in and all that. A lot of it will just line up at the same time with Bitcoin hitting all-time highs and all that. So I think it's just a matter of time. Just accumulate and buy and hold the stuff that you think is going to do well, and then with the rest of your portfolio, if you're into the trenches thing, definitely do that. That would be my take on everything right now. But if I didn't miss anything, let's see.
Bitcoin looks kind of crazy right now on the daily chart.
Yeah, no, I think this is just a base gonna probably break to the upside here. If you're trading with small size, network fees or low liquidity will keep diminishing your profits. Yeah, exactly. Even on obviously on Sol, a little bit different, but yeah, overall it's just the chances. There's so many things that could go wrong if you're rotating so much that it just gets dicey. With that, let's go ahead and move on to NFTs. Ruts, are you able to pull up your scheme, bro? If not, I can pull up mine. Perfect.
I am up.
Awesome.
And good to go. So yeah, I mean, NFTs are still in this retracement. Anime airdrop did not go particularly well. I think there's lessons to be learned. Through the process, there's a lot of talk on the confusion that was surrounding Anime token and whether or not, what the actual value, what the actual claim would be like. And so really the lesson is like, you want to reward your long-term holders, but you want to do it as a surprise. You don't want to do it in a way that confuses buyers, because it's the pump of the NFT that really drives the value throughout this whole process, and delivers more. So you can argue that the way they've done it was definitely the most fair, but quite the liquidity suck thereafter. In terms of volume, NFT volume has been good. It's been strong and consistent, which is great. Buyer to seller ratio is just below that 1.0. Again, bull market arise when it goes above 1 consistently. And in terms of volume, daily unique traders has been not bad. Kind of really pulling back to where we were earlier in December. We've now pulled up to kind of much better levels here. And the blue chip index has retraced quite a bit, further than I expected. I expected that we would be beginning to rally again already, but we're getting kind of discounts across the board on a lot of collections. If you look at the last 7 days, all we're seeing up right now is Milady's, Remelios, and Mutant Apes. Everything else on the blue chip collections that I track are down. And then when we look at the 30-day, again, it's Milady's and it's Sprotos. Everything else is down. So quite a retracement here for NFTs in general. A lot of that was driven by token speculation. And of course, now that tokens have come and gone, at least the major two that we expected, a little bit of a leg thereafter. I've pulled this up to look at the last 7 days of activity. And you can see here, other than Milady's, a bit on Punks, Trump, Cato, everything is gone on this retracement here. So
have you guys dove into Cato at all? Like I just started learning about it. Somebody just talked to me, and like, is this something you like? I haven't dived into it. Do you think it's something that's sustainable past the airdrop, or is it kind of just like a cash grab? Like, what do you see this as, just from your, I don't know how much you read into it and everything?
I
What
mean,
a
the
a cash
platform
grab in the
is
sense of like a farming opportunity. I mean,
it's hard. If you're to be farming, you have like, Bren probably out of everyone here in the stage has the best opportunity to farm. You have to be someone of of uh, relevance in the space.
I think it's just
Anyone
based on views on tweets, right? That's what it's kind of.
No, it's like intelligent tweets. It's trying to measure the quality of the tweets. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
you're right. It's that they're going to be measuring it probably just using metrics, right? But it's replying to content that they're tracking and receiving good responses to it, specifically good responses from other influential people. It's like a KOL loves KOL kind of
It's like
ecosystem.
Portal Coin, but
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah,
my thought when you said that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, or friend tech and like what is it? What do they call that? When you buy my coin, I buy your coin, or that kind of thing.
Ponzi. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's a bit of Ponzi-ness into it. It's a great, interesting, informative platform, but these yaps and that kind of side of it, I'm hesitant towards it. I think it's a lot of effort for less reward in general. The Kato NFT is interesting. You can have that and get a portion of the airdrop. I think the platform that they're coming out with which should have a really good idea of sentiment, etc., is really interesting. But you want to break it down, like when it comes to some of this stuff, especially when it comes to meme coins, it isn't necessarily about who is the knowledge. It's about who can react the fastest sometimes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm mixed on it. If you can tell by the way I kind of back and forth it a bit.
absolutely, and rightfully so, because a lot of these have just been kind of short. The portal thing kind of was crazy because they had you right. You had to straight like advertise portal on like all of your
Mm-hmm.
tweets, and that airdrop was very underwhelming, from what I remember. But so yeah, rightfully so. Definitely interesting. So like the Kato Genesis NFTs, obviously they're just gonna get a fat airdrop among other things, probably.
Yeah, I believe so. I that's kind of the expectation there. I wonder if they have the Kato Genesis has access to the platform or not. If it's a token access to the platform
Interesting.
versus paying for the platform.
A little off topic, but someone made a fake Vladimir Putin page with it and put out ticker Putin. Join my very special Putin community and be part of the movement. Get your Putin now. So yeah, I know this account has
Sounds like a easily $1 billion market cap coin.
yeah
Right?
800k followers, and then they get these massive accounts somehow, and then
You just buy them. You can probably buy that account for like 50K if you want.
yeah, and then they just make a quick $100-200 million off of it. And
Yeah. Um,
Um,
let me take a hot take right here.
yeah,
Azuki is a good price to buy right now.
dude,
Oh, for
3.8
sure.
is that what that
Run
just
it,
said?
run it. I think we
Wait.
all should just have Azuki
Wait,
PFPs.
that says 3.8.
That says
ETH,
3
Ethereum, not dollars.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck the airdrop. I know that's obviously why, but like, dude,
Yeah.
I think if
No,
you
they-
want a nice Azuki PFP or two,
yeah,
could be
this
the
is
move.
time. Very interesting.
The art's gonna be good, dude. They've always been like they've been at this range before. They've been at 5. They've been flooded to death, and they still bounce back. You know,
Wait, so what?
Yeah.
I have not been keeping up with anime at all. I've saw the price of the token stuff, but what the airdrop like? Was it people get a big airdrop?
apparently
like,
it was ass. Apparently it was butts.
Yeah.
Look at the
the
price.
airdrop-
Look at the price.
Yeah, no. Did
Where
the
is it?
floor like a floor Azuki, was it based on like collector score and all that, or like how did it go down?
Collector score, but there was a base claim score that you got.
Okay.
And I've been trying to look for the
Holy shit.
the actual amount. Yeah, the anime token just destroyed. So I came in not bad off the start, but just a full
Shitty environment to
sell.
launch into. Honestly, it low key, if it is going to have a long term future, this is what you want to happen early on,
Mhm.
because most of these coins have this washout anyway. It just
Yeah.
happens to be that Pudgy and Azuki's now are happening during an overall bear period, or just like a period of like confusion. I think this is the best thing that could happen. Where if they do turn this into something, you want it to be at 300 million. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on anime. I'd way rather. That's why I really like Pudgy or Pengu. I really like Pengu.
You cut.
Really like Pengu. Sorry, but
I was gonna say, do you really like Pengu?
no, my bad.
Oh.
Somebody called me. So, no, I really like Pengu, but the fact that it launched at like 2 or 3 billion, I was hesitant to go in with size, but now, especially as it's heading towards this all-time low, potentially forming like a double bottom, I do think it could be. I like it a lot more than at like 3 billion is what I'm trying to say.
Dude, I feel like
Yeah.
I missed some things. I had to go run out. I feel like whatever Azuki and the team tries to do, it's always ends up bad. Like they've never had a good reaction to anything they do. I feel like, but
Yeah,
they're just doing pretty well though. Like if you look at their chart, like you're getting in. Like they've been at this range before, and it's still been
Mhm.
bouncing at 15, which is crazy. Like it's always like it will always be at 15 at some point. So could be a nice 5x on ETH.
Yeah, no, I think it's just all about long-term execution on whether they like deliver on this decentralized anime
Well,
thing or not.
and well,
Yeah.
it's not even that. Like they have an anime show coming. IP wise, they're really strong. So there's still a lot behind Azuki that's really good.
Yeah.
There's just a big sell off here post event. If
Absolutely.
you're into the ecosystem, this is a great time to pick up a floor one and then trade that floor one in or out later on when you want to collect your forever Azuki kind of thing. But yeah, it's at or near range floors. Actually,
Absolutely. I think it's going to run off the strength of this NFT bull that I think is going to kicked off, especially with everything that's happening with Trump. But long term, we'll see how many of these things stick around long term. You're hearing about a lot of these projects. I won't go into specifics, but like the NFT industry is just wide open. Is all I'm going to say. Like the people towards the top, there's a lot of craziness going on. I wouldn't even be surprised. It's just wide open. Any of these projects, even the ones that I'm like VeeFriends, for example, that I'm really into, like people who consider to be like not even doing anything right now could very well be at the top very quickly. I think the NFT industry is just wide open. There's like 2 or 3 like clear winners, and then the rest of the shit is just like so wide open right now. And I think this is going to be like the really like the most important bull, whereas the last one was just kind of like a little bit of a warm up. I like Doodle. Damn, it's under Doodles. I get it. It's because Doodles is the next to have a coin, but holy shit.
Yeah, it does.
But I feel like Doodles is already. If we thought about Azuki situation and Doodle situation, I feel like the Azuki one has been priced in for a while. If you look at the Azuki price,
yes,
seeing that it's at 4 now,
you're not wrong, given the fact that Azuki, this token, has been expected for over like probably a year now. It feels like it has been expected so long, well before Pudgy, etc. So there was a portion of the Azuki floor price that would have been baking in the token as part of the future deliverable for Azuki. Now that has happened, what's up, what's next? That's kind of the scenario, and there's not another clearly identifiable next, even though you have IP and anime and continuation of the anime token ecosystem.
Yeah, I think we're kind of just waiting on like just become evident with this whole Trump shit that a lot of the time it's like some random event that comes out of nowhere, some catalyst. What it will be for NFTs, who knows? But I feel like there will be something, and several of these IPs will go crazy. CryptoPunks at what are they at 40? What's the all-time high on CryptoPunks? Like
All-time high is
it's really
over 100, isn't it?
100?
Yeah, but that was at different ETH prices as
Yeah.
well, so you don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's like half a mil. I think was if I'm
Mhm.
thinking half
And
a
that
mil
was
USD.
Was that like under 2K? You're saying?
No, it'd be like 100 ETH at I don't know, probably 120 to 150 ETH at 3 or something.
So kind of around where we're at now.
Yeah. Honestly, I think
That's clean. I
Azuki
like that.
might be a good buy right now.
I
Of
agree.
anything.
I agree.
Not the
I-
elementals, just the Azukis. Like get the OG ones.
I mean, if you want to rock an Azuki, then the elementals are great value.
Yeah,
Like,
if
look,
that,
look at this one. Look at this one for a show host right there. Good
yeah,
to go.
that's
Right?
someone in here needs to get that. Just
Right?
throw it out for every show.
That's crazy.
Dang, do you know the ratios? There's like a lot of females, huh, in the collection. Where it's just
Well,
like,
it's the floor,
Too many
right? So you
females
see,
for Brand for sure.
oh, I get,
yeah,
yeah,
at the floor, females are
funny
going to
guy.
accumulate. There's a guy on the floor of Azuki. Is this a guy? I don't, or is
Yeah.
this a
Let's
chick?
find a
That's
really,
pretty clean
let's
though.
find a really
Yeah,
flamboyant
it's
one
clean.
for Danksy. He'll really like that one. Let's see.
The floor ones have been not as good as the ones at 12 ETH, or maybe they just look better at 12 ETH.
They looked way better at 12 ETH, did they not? Right. Where are there's the thing is the good ones on the floor are getting sniped, right? So there's a lot less. So that's how high you got to go up 4.18 to get something half decent on the floor.
There's some you missed that was pretty decent.
There's a lot of female ones that are pretty sweet, but I
Yeah.
like this one
That's more Danksy vibes right there.
right there. There's Danksy.
Do the pink hair, kind of the move.
It's kind of
I
fire.
think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're back into this territory. What's the next catalyst for NFTs, right?
I've been accumulating more VeeFriends. The president of VeeFriends today, Andy, his name's Andy Kranak. He like put out a poll today asking about meme coins. I think for sure there's a V. There's a
I
for
was
sure.
gonna say when is V token, right? Like
I'm telling you, he's been really silent. Like he
Jeez.
popped into that Discord a couple weeks ago, like saying okay, like kind of hinting and sweeping a bunch, saying that shit's coming. They've been very silent. One, I think this is probably far off. Probably not who's doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gary's like acquiring to buy punks too, if they are really selling it, which would be absolutely insane. But even if that doesn't happen, that right there would bring VeeFriends to the top instantly. But even if that doesn't happen, the V coin, there's just so many different things that they can do with it, where they could announce the token tomorrow, which they could have been working on for a little bit here for a later date, which would instantly put the VeeFriends up to 10 ETH, kind of like what Azuki did, and stuff like that. So either way, I think something super imminent for there, whether it's VeeFriends or another project that hasn't been talking quite yet, but it's still active. I think there's a lot of very undervalued opportunities right now where like all of the attention's kind of on Azuki, Pudgies, the Bored Apes, etc. So
yeah, I mean, if VeeFriends is launching a token, it could be a good buy right now.
yeah, I mean, it's
what you do know is that
what?
What's good? Say what you do know is that when Miladies are running, everything else in NFTs drop. Miladies just absolutely counter trade NFTs every single time. It is 100%. So like Vitalik PFPing Miladies is crushing all the other Ethereum NFTs.
He's been like trolling today. He made like a interesting tweet about like mentioning.
Dude, this guy Vitalik gotta lock in, get ETH to pump, bro.
He's doing Canada bad. You know, like come on, bro, get your shit together.
That's funny. No, I do like how he's kind of embracing Ethereum community, whereas in the past NFTs he was kind of like, "What's the point?" type shit.
Yeah,
so
no, he's got it.
That's cool. He's like retweeting Charlotte Fang and shit. That's crazy.
Bro, you want to pull up real quick? Nick's Garage on TikTok asked about Onyx Coin. It's moving. Kind of. I'm not sure if it's looks pretty sus, but it's at 750 million market cap on base.
That's a meme. Thought you meant an actual, an actual coin.
It's just Onyx Coin. You add coin to it too.
Okay. ONYX?
Yeah, that one. First one.
Oh.
6 months old.
The symbol's weird.
Go to the hour. So yeah, I think it could be starting a bigger correction. Like you see how it did on the left on the 18th where Rhodes' cursor is right now. Mm-hmm. It could be forming something like that with multiple legs down, with that one being the first. So I think very likely probably makes another low. And then if you do believe in the project, that it's going to continue, that would probably be a good entry. I don't know too much about the coin other than that. Why do you say why do you think it looks sus, Danksy?
Look at the liquidity, 300 something
Uh,
K on
oh
like a
yeah,
750 million,
yeah. Is
750
that
million.
not, maybe that's not the main liquidity pool? Because yeah, you're right. That is very sus,
Oh, maybe it's not the main liquidity pool.
dude. Yeah, FCN. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, 2.3 on that top one, if that's the same one. But that
Oh
looks like
yeah, you're right. You're
that
right.
looks like it's on layer
Everything,
one.
it's on base.
Yeah, I think the one he did might have been like a wormhole or whatever to base. You know what I mean? Like it's like a, you could have it on base, but it's not the main. It's like it's I think it's an L1 coin. You know what I mean? Like it originated on there. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then that's why the base one has so little liquidity, because it's just like a base version.
Not sus. Confirmed. Not sus.
Yeah, I'm glad we're able to do that. As far as, what was the guy's name? Fucking whoever
Nick's
asked.
Garage.
Nick's Garage.
I like the name.
That's fire. You do cars, Nick, or what? Either way, I do think it is forming a correction, Nick. With most of these corrections have 2 to 4 lows in the corrective channels, and that's only one so far. So it could take off from there, but more likely comes down for another low or two before.
Yeah, I target back to 570
Yeah.
as the first range of kind of support here.
Yeah, for sure. Bull says those Azukis look cool. Yeah, they really do, man. They're like the most aesthetic. How
Dude,
much?
good thing I didn't do the Azuki trade. I would have been fleeced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was too confusing. There was no clear, like, okay, this is how much you're going to get rewarded if you buy it. You're going to get the same level of reward, that sort of stuff, and that's kind of the degree of what caused some of the lack of movement price wise.
I feel
I
like
totally agree with you with the what you said before about keeping it a secret for OG holders. I think that would have
Mhm.
been
Mhm.
instead of it being a negative, it would have been a positive, and then it would have changed the whole situation.
I think, and
Mhm.
I think if anything, it points to him like not giving a fuck about like pandering to holders, and more just trying to build something long term, hopefully. Whereas if you give a shit ton like into one or two people, it's most likely just gonna, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really looked into the tokenomics, but
They kind of, that's kind of the way it worked out. I mean, like, you would think that their big holders, like a Dingling, would have got rewarded like the max possible, because his collector score is going to be as perfect as it gets, right? So in a way, it's rewarding your whales more than just someone that wants to be involved in the community
yeah, you're right.
more recently, right? So I get it. It's good to reward your faithful, but that's kind of the detractor. And then of course, then you don't have this ability to onboard new members, or at least onboard the speculators for a duration of time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without that price appreciation, like you don't have any of the hype. Like you just see
Yeah.
Azuki at 12 to 15, you're like, oh, it hasn't even moved.
it didn't even move on the announcement of the token, which is the wildest part. Right?
And then
Maybe it's starting to
then
get priced in earlier now. Like these are token things, right? Like I don't know.
that's probably as well. But like, if it's, I think like you see with Pudgy, there wasn't like a blow off top on Azuki. It was just like constantly flat because
Yeah.
like there's no additional cap. Like, why would I buy an Azuki for the token if I have to like grind out some awards for the next like week or something or month or something?
Damn, I like these takes by Danksy today, bro. He's so fucking vocal. I love it.
Locked in.
I know, I love it. I think he's hyped by the fucking Azuki sub 4 fucking ETH. That's insane.
They're yeah.
I might buy one. And I've always wanted a Azuki, so
Mhm.
Do it, bro. Are you gonna
also I had a theory where being the first project after a while to launch a token is significantly better instead of waiting.
Yeah.
Like a major one. Like Pudgy
Yeah.
was like the
Yeah.
talk of the town. Like if Azuki launched before Pudgy, it would have been different, but they've just been dragging for so long.
It's the uncertainty, it's the unknown that drives like this crazy amount of like FOMO in NFTs. It's like, oh, this really could be the next great thing, right? And so the community and NFTs, because of like the echo chambers and the X and all that kind of stuff, we tend to get kind of wrapped up in these narratives that are maybe a little too positive thinking. And then of course the same is true on the other side. When things start to go wrong, it's like, oh, it's over, and we just like we centralize, or what do you call it? Like we basically exaggerate both
It's
sides
like a
of
hive
the
mind
narrative.
mindset on crypto Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You had to control the narrative for sure. And I feel like Azuki has always been reactionary. So they were late launching elementals when everyone was doing like the second collection. They were late, and they got backlash for it. And then with the tokens, they were also late and got backlash for it. So they're just too reactive, I think.
Did anyone catch anything on the timeline? Did Garga do some fighting towards the?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I didn't want to
Garga
bring that up.
fudded.
I didn't want to bring that up, but you did. Garga or Gordon? Sorry.
I think Gordon
Oh, sorry.
fudded Frank
Gordon?
and Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
crash out was crazy last night. I didn't want to bring it up, but it's just crazy. I don't know. Just interesting. Again, I don't know any of these people. Just
he retraced it. But I
Yeah.
just was curious to because, like, I mean, ultimately, and you see this on the timeline for Azuki and other communities kind of into Azuki right now, is that we like to bring people, we like to, like, I told you so, and we like to bring people down, and like if our bags aren't doing well, we kind of bring people down, or
Yeah.
it's our bags or nothing, right, and that kind of stuff. And I think Gordon kind of corrected that on there, but
Yeah.
because, like, at the end of the day, like, Frank and crew, they've embraced meme coins 100%, and they're, as much as Frank has this NFT collection, he's kind of like NFT adjacent at this point, right?
Yeah.
But I was just kind of curious because I didn't catch it on the timeline, and so that's why I asked. But if it's something that is not necessary to ask, then we can just say, hey, let's all be friends and move on.
You can't roll back the screenshots. There's always some screenshots left over.
I was looking for them for a good portion of
Oh, they're in the
he
comments.
just
I'll send you one.
said- He's pretty much He's pretty much just said that he's focusing on meme coins now and whatever. Pretty much what everybody else says. Or what that narrative is. People talk about. And then he said something about phase banks too or something. But
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're in the public light. You really can't be fudding other people's bags. It's like a really bad look.
Yeah,
Even though I might be
yeah.
fudding people's bags sometimes. I'm gonna,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
just
cool
do
it.
it on stream to 800 people, but on the timeline, it's whatever. No, I'm just playing. But the interesting for sure. I think we're just kind of waiting for some type of catalyst with NFTs. I don't know what it's going to be, but usually that's how it works, right?
Yeah, we can't rely on OpenSea because that's
There's an OpenSea airdrop soon, right?
there's
drop-
OpenSea 2.0 soon too, isn't there?
Wait,
That
I was going to
last
ask,
one,
did they ever drop that or right? No, it was supposed to be
no,
December,
they
right?
never did. Yeah, like, you can't
Fine.
rely on OpenSea. Like, seriously, like, I don't know if they just got some, like, hyped up in the thought, and we're like, hey, we're gonna do some shit, and then you actually get down to work, and they're like,
I get
we don't feel like working today.
Like,
So
I
we're not
get-
gonna
Tech
do it.
definitely takes time, right? Like there's delays or whatever, right? But like they haven't said
They're
anything.
slackers. They're slackers.
What do you mean, dude? I can launch a token real quick. I feel like OpenSea has the people and the tech to scrape all that data
I
already.
bet they're waiting on
and-
2.0. Like it's probably adjacent to that, but like you would think they'd communicate. Like, okay, this is what's
And there's
going
no
on.
regulation now. They can just go wild, right? Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they just want to get it right, or because they know if it's bad, like people are going to be even more pissed. Hopefully, that everybody, they reward old.
Old collectors.
Dude, I mean, I still feel like OpenSea still gets the majority of NFT sales or NFT volume. Am I wrong?
NFT transactions, yes, not volume. It's
Like
it's crazy.
the lower cap ones are all on OpenSea.
Yeah. All the large sales, all the main collections go on Blur, and all of the other collections go on OpenSea. And it's crazy. Like, you look at this recently, OpenSea has 16% of the volume market share, whereas Blur has 80% of the volume. And then when it comes to the actual transactions, OpenSea's like 60%, 50%, and Blur is 46%. That's on like the more recent. It's kind of, Blur is getting more traction here more recently, and that could just be simply to the fact that we're seeing a lot of Azuki volume, which is a large portion of the active NFT collections that are being traded right now. So
For sure. Pandad asked what happened to Retardio. They were such a big cult. Yeah, the coin pulled back really hard with a lot of these others. I think because of the mind share of Retardio still on the timeline and everything, I think it's going to recover and might actually be in the cult category.
Yeah, cult seen saw a bounce, and Milady seen a bounce as well. So I think there's some beta to that, right?
For sure. And I do think just because of the mind share, you have people like Mitch and all these other people that are, the Retardio, community, whatever. I think it has a resurgence. We've seen coins in the past go down 70 or 80% where it seems hype dies for a while, but I think the roots are so deep in crypto, like whatever, and on Twitter that Retardio probably has another run.
I mean, Trump went Retardio with his token drops. Like, how did Retardio not?
Yeah, right. Just off the
rally with it, right? Like, things legit got Retardio over last weekend.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure, man. That's see, what's Bitcoin doing right now?
A little bit down. Hopefully, I can get some rest over this week. Last week was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this like 106 range here. This kind of top that we've had the last little while.
What day did they drop? What day did they drop Trump coin? What day was of the week?
Friday. It was Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember like sitting at dinner. I'm like, did Trump get hacked?
Yeah, a lot of people. There was some evidence that like kind of looked like he did. Like something was sketchy, and then they connected that the Cloudflare website or whatever that they're using is the same as the NFT project, and that's kind of when everybody was like, "All right, this shit's real."
Oh, he's still here.
Oh, look who decided to show.
I've been here letting you guys talk NFTs, just being respectful.
Just lurking.
Yeah, I was just literally lurking. But now what the hell is Clout.me? Just ran to 142 million.
Fucking knows, dude. Tweet. Look it up on Twitter. Let's see.
Clout.me.
RV says, "What's up?" from the chat. What's up, RV? Just saw your message. Clout.me.
That's probably not the ticker, but hold on. The ticker.
Clout.me. Oh, it looks like it's another.
It looks like it's dead already.
Looks like
Put on 1 minute. Put on 1 minute.
That's not it. Hold on.
It looks like it's another. Oh yeah, I've been seeing this around. It's the.
Look at our.
Looks like it's done.
Look
Is this the right one?
Is this the right one?
Look at your chat. Look at the Avenger chat. I put the CA in there.
Somebody else who's not sharing their screen. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Let's see.
I can't get the CA.
No, I got it.
Okay. Do you want me?
Yeah, you can hear. Am I sharing my screen or no? I think I exited, right?
Yeah, pull it up.
How the fuck do I always miss the ones that go to 100 million in 3 minutes?
Because you didn't look at it within 3 minutes.
You just pulled it's the same one. It's at.
Yeah, it's at. Let's see.
3 million now.
153 on
someone just one clipped it. It's done.
What?
Wait, this is the Clout thing. The Clout.me is like this big thing, but is this the official coin or is it just a play off of that? Like it's probably.
Oh my god! Did it really just go from 140 to 15?
Yeah, it's obviously.
Yeah, dude, you just saved yourself. Yeah. You just saved yourself. Thank God.
I wasn't going to.
But thanks for bringing up a rug on stream, Yoni. I appreciate that.
What is this chaos?
I'm fucking with you, bro. I'm totally kidding.
The instant he says it on stream, it rugs.
I'm totally just.
I'm like, wait a second. This is nothing. Jeez.
Yoni, did you start this project, man? And just rug the shout out? Totally kidding, dude. That's so funny though.
Show your face. Show your face to everyone.
So not the real one yet.
No, this
is not the perfect example of what the trenches are right now.
I mean, for sure. I know. I'm glad you brought that.
Just that rip.
Bro, you're
that's some good content though, for real. Wait, was it green when you brought it up?
5 minutes.
Bro, it's at 142 million. I was like,
yeah, it was like
pull it up
at all-time highs when we brought it up.
I mean, it bonded. Oh no, it didn't. It bonded like very quickly, and then it's a pumped up coin.
Pandad, my homie Pandad in the chat said there's a real one. I think this is the rug you guys are looking at.
No way, he just sent over that. That's the CA. I looked it up.
Are you sure it's not another one? Look it up.
I just copied the CA from Yon.
Yeah, no, I think the one Yoni sent is like, I'm saying it's a rug. There's a real one. They're saying that's like actually pumping. Yoni, I think it was maybe this one's fake.
I took the CA, the one that was at 150 million.
Yeah, no worries. It's
It
probably
was
just,
at 150 million, just
it's probably
rugs.
just some fuckery they did and just send it there. I don't know. They probably pumped it with sent money
Bro,
into it.
these fucking pirates are literally making so much money right now.
Literally, that's what they are. Some digital ass pirates. Go to Clout or
Damn.
yeah,
Yo, I actually might have just pulled up one of the most legendary
no, the one below it. Clout
rugs,
Jimmy,
rugs
bro.
of the
The
season.
one that's up 300%, right below it. Sorry, Yoni. What'd you say?
I said I might have just pulled up one of the most legendary rugs of the season.
That's a
That
big
looks
one.
like a honeypot for show.
Yeah.
No cells at all on that. So, Panda, thanks for bringing up a honeypot as well.
Perfect.
Just bringing up honeypots and
And
fucking
rugs.
rugs. What's next? Anybody else want to bring up any scams or?
Hey,
That was
let
really
me
short.
get my pump fund ready first. Let me make one
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Holy shit, guys.
Yo, one time Bren was doing like these late night streams when Bitcoin was crossing all time high, and
yeah.
I hopped on, and we were randomly bringing people on
Yeah.
stream, and then all of a sudden a rugger comes on stream and starts just chatting shit and being so open about how he rugs, how many
Yeah,
times
he like pulled up his screen, dude. I
pulled
forgot.
up his like his biggest rugs or whatever, like his philosophy on it. It was
He
honestly
showed us,
nuts.
we're like, dude, your cap. He showed us like all his account on Pump Fund and all the rugs he's doing, and then he
He
showed
like I think I bought into 30% of his rugs. Like
yeah, in his bank account he had like 300K in there and shit. And it was just like this sarcastic troll ass.
and he was living upstairs in his parents' crib. It really was the worst feeling.
Yeah, he was saying he was like real young, but who knows? He could have been trolling on that. But dude, yeah, it was crazy. I forgot about that. I think we have that recorded somewhere. Back at that.
Dox him, put him up.
Yeah, I think he's smart enough to not show anything, but definitely could hear his voice. He was like this English dude, or maybe New Zealand or something.
What's up with this Sorkin coin? Andrew Sorkin. I saw it was on Fox today. I saw people trading it. Does anyone know anything about that?
Well, is it like it's not official? It's just
It's a rug.
We're
right?
waiting for it to rug.
No, I think.
Instant rug right now.
Yeah, I mean, pull it up. It might be fuck. I'm not gonna stand on it, but
Go to
I saw there was an article. I could probably find it
15?
and drop it in our chat.
We're on the 1 minute. Go to the 15.
There was a Fox article on it.
Oh, there was an article on the coin.
That's 6
on him launching unofficially like a token without people's permission. I guess something. I don't know.
Him or you're saying somebody else probably launched it without his permission?
Let me find it and reread it. That could be it.
Yeah, because I mean, if he actually came out with it, I feel like it'd be over 10. I think a lot of these, are just plays on the actual whatever, and a few of them end up being the actual one. But yeah, BlackRock
just
CEO.
hashtag Twitter.
I found it. Hold up. I'll drop it in the chat.
Bull says, yeah, BlackRock CEO mentioned it on interview. So you're saying, okay, so BlackRock CEO mentioned what? The Sorkin coin? Wasn't his deployer? Yeah. Okay. Bull, what he mentioned? What?
This is practically a rug too.
Yeah, I think that one might. Who knows? It was like an insider shit. Obviously, the dev probably did do something, but I think it dumped because again, people think it's. A lot of the times they think it's official, and then when they find out it doesn't, everybody dumps it.
Nothing there. Yeah.
I just dropped it. It was on CNBC or whatever.
Oh, so the CEO of BlackRock talked about Sorkin coin. I think they're probably just referencing that all these people that are getting coins made about them or whatever.
Can you hear this?
No, there's no volume.
Wait, did they? Is this recent? Oh, I remember seeing this.
This would be so epic if we could just stream stuff here and show people and talk about it.
I think. Let me check the stream. I
Yeah,
think there might be sound.
We'll for sure have that set up for next week. Yeah, because we need to be able to review shit.
For sure.
When I connect, it says it can't share my desktop audio. So there's a way you can do it, but
yeah, we'll do it off stream. But damn,
Squonk box.
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet today, right? Anything else happened in the last few hours? I think we're just kind of waiting to see what the majors do here.
I need a fucking bounce. Everything pulled back hard, at least because my port is a lot of AI.
Did you see the fake Putin coin?
Yeah, I love it. They made a site and everything.
Yeah, 90K. Damn, I just saw one of those the Apple dog memes. Yoni, is that shit still alive?
I don't know. I got out of it, but I mean, like, I had conviction for like 60 seconds.
Should we do a live trading with Yon one day?
Oh my God. It's so emotional.
We
Yeah.
should just watch him
If-
tweak
if
out
it's-
on stream.
If it's over, the thing is, I don't want to pull up like fucking 100K.
I'll literally be like 7 coffees deep. Like, yeah, so emotional.
As long as it's not like 100K.
Dude, if I would have done a live stream of me trading that McAfee coin and the Vine coin, it literally like, bro, it was so emotional and I felt so dumb. Even as it was horrible. It's like I saw it at 9 million, fudded myself out of it 3 times, but then took it 3 times way late with less money. It was just a horrible experience.
Yo, and what's your setup? What's your setup right? How many monitors do you have?
It's so funny because I'm really just trapping off the laptop. But I was just talking to Bren. Bren came through here yesterday, and I was just saying we really got to get more screens, like a stand-up 5-screen crazy setup going.
Dude, you got to be in the trenches. You got to have
I
the
like
vision.
2 screens max. I honestly don't like having fucking.
No, I'm talking about like Hugh Jackman and Swordfish. Like I want 7, 8 screens. I want them to bend. I want the screens to bend.
Dude, I have 3 screens and it's pretty good. You should
It's amazing.
you should
What do you-
sell some meme coins, buy a screen.
Yeah, you're right. The life of a meme coin trader. I can't. I'll never sell.
I like 2 of those fat like bending ones, but like having 5 or 6 screens, like I don't need to have like 6 screens sitting on my fucking screen. Like
I could
6.
sit in the.
You gotta have like the VR, like the Apple VR on, and then you
I
can
was gonna
look
say that's
everywhere.
probably your best way to get more screens.
We're talking about that.
So I had those, but you can't wear them. I have them, but you can't wear them for a very long time. It's just like so annoying.
Like on your
You gotta
head.
lock in, bro. You gotta lock in.
Bro, I
Yeah.
swear,
Lock it.
you hadn't seen anyone more locked in than me, and you can't do it. I had
Yeah.
them on. I was comfy. Everything.
Wait, you be on Telegram? Like, could you be on Telegram? Like,
Bro,
doing the
you're literally like fucking Neo from the Matrix. You're grabbing shit with your fingers. You're
Yeah,
throwing
it just like
stuff.
it mirrors your laptop
so
screen.
could you be on
or your
Telegram
Mac
and
screen.
Discord at the same time while trading like coins and shit?
Yeah, but it's
You can
not-
have like infinite screens up, I think.
Yeah, but it's not. It's really cool to look at, but it's not super fluid to type. But what you can do is you can just look at your desktop.
Your computer, yeah.
Yeah, you can look at your desktop or laptop, and then that screen will pull up, and you can use your computer. But it's still not seamless because you have these fucking goggles on in between. So it's like a little bit annoying. But the next era of this, it's cool. You buy them if you just like don't care about money, essentially, and you want to
It's like a
just.
concept
We,
thing. Kinda.
we
Yeah.
need a Yanni cam
Feel the
with
tech.
Apple Vision Pros on and the screens. Like we need to see him all locked in doing
Oh
that.
my god, I'll be just
Yeah,
ripping
VR, FPS, first person with the VR cam.
Has anybody
you go
tried the
walk-
fucking Meta glasses or whatever the fuck? Like, I think those are probably
Yeah,
the AR stuff.
lightweight.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah, when they can do them where they're just simple and you could actually wear them. I mean, it's first of all, it's epic to be in there until it starts hurting your face. It's fucking insane. Literally, like
Yo, if you really want the alpha, you should look into caffeine pills.
really why?
They're a lot better than coffee.
Roja
No,
says
run
someone,
just Zin. Just
Roja says someone make Yoni a latte. What do you mean by that?
get the
Roja?
tobacco.
Bro, I literally
get the
got one
tobacco.
because they know I got one in front of me.
You
Bro.
smoke crack.
Yeah.
Smoke crack and trade coins.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but I watched a couple of streams of a few of these guys recently, and a lot of these guys look like they're fucking speeding, bro. I'm not even joking. Like, respect to all of them because, like, big dog traders for sure. But like speeding, like you're just like shaking and speed. And I get it. I mean, fuck it.
110 miles. Fucking.
Yeah. I mean, if you're taking 7-figure trades and you're really like in the moment, just like aping shit, it can definitely get gnarly and like. But yeah,
Gotta
Oh
say-
yeah, dude, the adrenaline and just how much money you're moving back and forth on
Yeah.
like instantly
getting a
ruggable coins.
getting a 10x on 150K, and something that just launched is insane.
Oh my god, dude.
Wait, I'm down to go pool some funds and let Yon trade for like 3 hours on stream. And
Bro,
just
we
like
could do
hype him
that.
up.
He's so casual about it too, right? Frank is just like, yeah, I just
Yeah.
He's so
by the way, I
casual
wasn't
about
talking
it.
about
Makes
me.
a
I
million.
wasn't talking about me. I was talking about Frank. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. so just
You
like,
could be
yeah,
our
no big
Frank,
deal.
Yon. You can be our Frank.
I'm not gonna lie. The more I see those guys just rip it, it just looks like so much fun, and I just think I might have to.
No, it's streaming for sure, but just like pulling up 100K pump funds. I don't know if that's what they do. But
No, not 100K pump funds, but I just feel
No,
like there is a thing with size. If you're playing degenerate and you're used to playing in the trenches, again, these guys are like, this is where they live, right? With size, where you can skip the 100K, even 1 mil, 2 mil, you're actually a lot safer between, 10 million to 20 million, 10 million to 30 million. That's where I think a lot of these guys are catching their X's it's still super
Mhm.
risky with
Yeah.
size, but they're not coming in at like 1 million. I don't think for the most part, they're coming in around like 15. Like you would see, like whether it's Frank or Ansem or whoever else on their AI wallets, like whether it was Griffin or these other stuff, they're just aping massive around like 15, 20, you know? So
I think Ansem is for sure. Frank definitely does some sub like
How do
one.
you
yeah,
how do
yeah, yeah.
you how do they not get like
But I'm saying
MEV botted?
that
How do they not get
aspect of
botted
the
out?
game,
They do. I mean, that's the whole
sure
point.
they
Is
do.
like every time they buy, it fucking goes. I mean, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
people
I think we
just
kind of all realize how it goes.
they
It's
all have different philosophies, but I just mean taking things 10 plus mil market cap with a little bit more size is the risk. But
yeah, no, for sure. Anything under like a mil, you're literally just like gambling. That
even two things go to two and then they reverse back to one quickly, and under 9, like even like 5 can get fidgety, 10 gets a little bit more safe.
yeah, yeah. There's something to invest off at that point, like a thesis. It's besides that, it's kind of just off a hunch and all that
But
other stuff.
still,
But
taking those coins like that low, like pretty much no information on the chart, pretty much no information on the
yeah, that's
project,
what I'm saying.
like six
More,
figure
more of a point
six
flip.
figure ape, and then it just makes a crazy impulse move up. It's like, yeah, it's insane.
But they also have people tracking the wallets, so it helps.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely gonna run some. We're definitely gonna run. People are still listening. We're definitely gonna run face cams and all that. Make it more of like those type of streams as well with entertainment value. Myself and Yoni for sure. Whoever else wants to pull up will be running kind of those 2-man streams with face cams and like where we're reacting and stuff to that too. So
yeah, we could all hop on and we could do some live. I think we could try some live trading sessions and fuck around and just see how people like it, and like interactive live
I
trading.
think we should keep it like we are now with face cams and stuff and pull up charts. But I just don't want to pull up anything under like a certain market cap because it only sets up to like there's just the
Well,
risk reward on that is just not
yeah,
there.
we don't have to like set people up to fail, but I think there is something kind of cool on, like, for example, yesterday you made a buy, Bren, right? You made 1 or 2 buys, I think, on your conviction coins. Like one of I'm not sure which ones they were, but they were good coins that you have conviction in. It'd be cool for us to all kind of like pull up what we're actually buying or what we have either bought that day or will buy, and kind of say like, all right, I'm buying into this coin. This is my thesis. This is why. Like whoever wants to follow me into the trade can. It doesn't have to be some DGen pump fund stuff, you know?
For sure. Yeah, Roja says yeah, but you can leave with your principal size of like 10 gain and leave a moon back. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Leaving
it's
moon
true.
bags, take
That's the
profit.
way you have to trade it, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Official Putin still alive.
They might. First of all, the trenches are so crazy that these fucking Chads might run it up to 100 million just cause, and then it'll just rug the next day. That's really what's happening. Like,
No, I'm for sure down to do that. Like, yeah, definitely will. I think we do a little bit of a version of that, but I have been thinking the last few weeks and why I've been saying a little bit more. We need to highlight like plays in the short term that we think could do well.
are gonna make a move. Yeah.
Which I think a lot of these bigger ones are on the brink of as well. But like those ones, like you said, that are around 5-10 million plus 10 to 100 million that are kind of correcting. That's what I like to highlight in the show. Gives people a good opportunity while not being super low market cap. Unicorn fart does. So see what that looks like.
Yeah, Bren, your trading strategy and Yone's trading strategy is probably different, right? Yone's kind of trying to find that first.
Well, we kind of work together in a lot
wave.
of stuff too, and kind of like trying to help each other. But yeah, Yoni, a lot of time he focuses his time, and he could probably tell you too, like on looking at those AI coins and stuff, and kind of really learning as much as he can. And I'm really proud of him because he's fucking learning a ton. But yeah, definitely he's more in the trenches, like focusing on that AI stuff, like right, Yoni? More.
I think. Well, I think kind of like I kind of adopted Bren's philosophy overall on the market, and I think it's the correct one. I think depending on Bren's been in the market for a lot longer, like literally Whale, Dawn, OG of this. Really, he taught me a lot. And I think when you have more size, you have more patience, you have more experience, you're able to sit in these bags, sit in your conviction a little bit longer. Just to be completely honest, like he's always, he's trading things really, really well, sitting on capital, waiting for these things to come down. I'm a little bit newer and still kind of finding my own philosophy, and I'm constantly trying to grow my portfolio. I don't have extra capital on the side. I'm constantly creating capital from trading. So I try to do a balance of like new emerging stuff that I believe is going to be moving and has mind share. But at the same time, I still think that only a few of these coins really are going to be able to stand the test, like Bren says. And I think a majority, like 90% of the coins that Bren are in, if I'm not already in them with relative size to me, I plan on moving in them. So it's kind of like it's kind of one and the same. But the AI stuff, I just found myself. It felt way easier for me to find conviction because I didn't have all the know-all of like these communities and these cults before, and so now I kind of had like an investor mentality, which kind of is a gift and a curse in this because things are so rotational. But it made it easier for me to research stuff to say, okay, I feel comfortable putting whatever it is into this coin with size because there's a team, there's a developer, these people are shipping. Even though these things are still fidgety, it allowed me to find my own conviction to buy with more size and to hold. And that's paid off. And so since it's paid off, I've just kind of continued to go down the rabbit hole of AI and like emerging mindshare within AI. And so, yeah, it's just kind of been fun. And I'm kind of still developing it, you know?
Absolutely, dude. And it's been really fun to, like to do this higher cap stuff and then have the homie Yoni like really just in the trenches with the AI stuff. And it's been great. So yeah, I think Yoni, it's cool. Yeah, he's been doing a mix of the both of the stuff. But let's see, Roja, high market caps are better. Crypto Comrade said, yeah, everybody has different goals. I think they're safer bet and easier way to make it. We didn't really do any. We should probably do better with it. We definitely didn't do any resets. But if you're still here with us, we really appreciate you being on. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. We love doing this and having these conversations. Definitely, we're always open to suggestions. We want to improve these shows. I know a few of us are just waiting on a few more things to go with the face cams and have the mics and everything going, like a lot of these other streams are. So look out for that. If you guys have any other suggestions that we can, improve the stream, make it, better for you guys, definitely either DM me on Instagram, holy fuck, Twitter, Telegram. Telegram is
Slide
what
in the DMs.
a different
Slide in the DMs.
What's your Instagram? I'll add you. I'll slide in.
different gram. Yeah, all right. Different gram than the Telegram. Just shoot us a DM. We definitely want to, improve everything. And then, definitely check out the Telegram Bossman calls I run with my business partner Bossman. We do lots of cool stuff in there, streams. I post all my analysis, giveaways, stuff like that. Like I said, my boy Yoni here. He's actually a musician, an entertainer. And he actually has some super cool stuff on the content side coming out, like really cool. You guys are gonna really be really excited about that. Check that out later on this year, as well as, like I said, he's just been a super huge asset to the show, really going over a lot of stuff that a lot of you guys I know are probably thinking about, especially you guys trading the AI stuff. So super grateful and stoked to have him on the show. So thank you, Yoni. And then, like I said, these guys, I'll just, they can go into their stuff because they know it better, obviously. But Danksy, Rhodes, for Loco, great friends. They run Bridge 3 Labs. Definitely go check out everything they're doing right now. We're doing the streams through their page. Go give them a follow, everybody on the panel. And before I pass it off to them, look out for more shows. Again, we'll be back on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Danks, you want to tell them a little bit what you guys are doing on the AI side?
Yeah, we're trying to build some AI agents. We think that AI agents is definitely the future with the intersection of crypto. There is a lull on the AI agent side where we're kind of looking to build more cutting edge projects, and that's going to require some development, some CTOs, a lead developer, all that stuff. We're always looking to onboard more people into our community. Right now, Bridgely Labs, 1,000 PFP collection, mainly consisting of investors, entrepreneurs, and I guess developers and marketers, really building in Web3. And we're kind of using our community to generate venture studio projects and startups. So really get in contact with us on Twitter, on Telegram. This streams on TikTok now and then also on Twitch. So we're basically everywhere. We're going to be cashing more eyeballs Tuesday, like Bren said, was it 1 p.m. on Tuesdays, and then 10 a.m. on Fridays. Those are Pacific times. And we'll see you guys after the weekend.
Yeah, Rhodes, you anything we didn't hear from you? Anything you want to plug or anything like that? Definitely follow all these guys, like I said. But anything from the other guys? Go ahead.
I'm just here with B3L. We show up every day, doing what we can, and we appreciate every one of you and Bren and Yoni for their perspectives, and it's just a ton of fun.
I agree.
This is awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, be back on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Definitely, I appreciate you guys for being on, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
All right, boys.
All right,
Peace.
take care.